We have Europe and North America coming up very shortly. We will take the top 40 teams from from the qualifiers combined to the regional finals for the Invitational and the Open Path, and then the top 10 teams from both of those will earn a spot in the Broadcast Royale finals.
Looking good.
Expert analysis. That was.
We know the format. We've seen it, and you know what?
We've seen, but maybe they haven't seen.
Listen. I was gonna say the best thing about this is just being able to see these people interact with each other in a way that we haven't seen before. Having the higher end or the well-known streamers that went in through the Invitational, battling with those coming in through the Open Qualifier. I really think the Open Qualifier is a much more competitive, at least in the one we just saw, because of those pro teams being able to come in, maybe not getting directly invited. We have more of the same coming in Europe. There are some big names in the European region today. And don't want to spoil it for you.
Well, too late. Spoilers! We're going to bring those players' rosters up for you now. Got plenty of individuals, one of which I know that we all are very aware of, Andy Pyro, that team number 7, playing with Chris for Method. And I know you're familiar with a lot of the players on here as well.
Yes, I do see a bunch of pros stand out. I saw Andy Pyro there playing with his teammate Chris from Method. And not to mention Reese's on there, a bunch of players that I imagine will be playing quite well. Forza's in there, Forza Esports. A lot of high-level talent. Tornado Energy Battle, lots of standouts here. So this will be a very competitive lobby in the European region, one of the hottest for PUBG. And we have the first game ready to go.
And spicy and tamale, and we're going to Sanhok. 3 of our 5 maps are going to be on to Sanhok. The ding, ding, dings of the bells have begun. The European region has thus started. Taking a little gloss over there of Paradise Resort Sanhok, a map that we have become all too familiar with over the last couple days, and I know it is quite enjoyable on my side as well as sentiments from you as well, Moses.
Yeah, it's been my favorite map to watch from an action standpoint. And because the competition is so heavy in this particular region, it's going to be even more exciting this time around. We'll see how these pro players from Europe handle this map. If they're going to try. Oh, Undercover Pie's in here too? All right, I guess I'll allow it. I think that's a North American player. Snark is here as well. So that's a team from Energy Esports is here, or former Energy Esports. We have Forza in here, Method. This is essentially a competitive match with Raptor to Raptors down there as well, former competitive player.
And for those of you that missed the Asia Pacific broadcast, or those of you that did watch, at the end of the APAC broadcast, we did give away some codes. Moses, the grateful and generous man that he has some ringside clothes for everyone to give away.
So title as well.
Yeah, and a title as well. So make sure, if you're watching here at the beginning of the European bracket, you do stick around to the end of the European broadcast. We will give away some more of those codes for you due to the generosity of my delightful co-caster, Moses himself.
You're welcome. That's all I can say. So, looks like the camp is going to be boot camp is going to be rife with players right out of the gate, and we'll see where Method has decided to drop into Charlie, looks like, and or excuse me, Bravo. And just like that, we're going to see the first action of this game. Pullman, and I'm going to dive away from Bubber the One, Team 7, on their way out of here.
And egg of bacon.
So I saw Trifle in there. I wonder if he'll get mad if I refer to them as Lumber Mill. I don't know what their team name is called, but
for those of us that are more unfamiliar.
Yes, there's lots to keep track of. I'll try my best to keep you guys apprised as to who the who's who is in here. There is a ton of current and former pros in here, so there's going to be some high-level competition.
Bubber the One gets a nice little ping there onto Pullman. Get the finish kill with the UMP. So he's now hiding behind himself. The bush has 20 bullets and a dream. Hanging out and chilling still. 73 members left alive. Remember, it is 40 teams that we had available for these open qualifiers. They're going to be playing today, and then another open qualifier happening on August 12th, which will feed into then the regional qualifier. You have to be placing in the top 20 of the qualifiers, and you're only allowed to play in one, actually. If you play in open qualifier number 1, you're not allowed to play in number 2, so it kind of raises the stakes a little bit, as well as opens the doors for people who might not have the availability to do both. As Trifelli picks up a little down there in the kill feed, ends up getting the finish on the Killer Street.
So Trifley, pro player, formerly of Lumbermill, plays with Wildcard most recently. So the amount of competition that we're going to see here is going to be higher than I think we've probably seen so far. The European region, definitely the most dense for competitive players. And for those that didn't get invited, I'm actually surprised that Andy didn't get invited for the invite portion. He is a fairly well-known streamer.
Bubba the One still going to get some extra shots. He
ouch.
Got him through the window.
Excuse me, Corpse. I just need to
I would like your loot, please.
That is A+ ragdoll right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh. You just have to relish in that moment. There's really no other way around it.
Wow. All right, so Bubba got himself 2 kills. I think a full team wipe in that instance. And here is Undercover Pie and Jnark. Jnark most recently of Energy Esports, Undercover Pie most recently of Gale Force Esports, so the esports crews coming together. Haven't seen Undercover Pie in a game in a while. Good to see him back.
As you can see, a large majority of this first circle encompassing most of the island. You've got a couple teams that are outside, but by and large, everybody is pretty spread out. The boot camp, the little action that we started to see, everybody has decided to get them. You can see Force Esports on that western side of the boot camp hanging out around that shore area.
Raptor to Raptor, way down in the bottom left. Deegs, El Gigantin, I believe, is their team name. El Gig Deegs is down there with his teammate Rip. Not sure who he is, but I imagine he's good if he's playing in this.
100 IQ.
And here's Trifley.
As well as Sukshe.
I can't remember where they're from. I think it's... I'm just going to throw out a guess and say Finland. I can't remember. I'm sure the chat will correct me, but regardless, high-level competition here.
Laws and Ander. We also are going to make sure that we can check back and forth in with the Method guys, Chris and Andy Pyro. I know Andy Pyro, a fan favorite.
A fan favorite, indeed. The star of PGI.
Are they in this? Are they in the same building on the other side of each other?
I think so. Sharing quarters currently.
They are.
Closet bros. Oh, he's in the closet.
Oh, he is.
He's just outside, rather. He has no idea they're there.
Well, no one inside does. Outside, he's very aware.
Just outside. Mouse. If he stays still long enough, I mean, these guys are just chilling. I wonder.
Oh, they have no idea. He's going to walk out and get blopped.
He's got, like, I can feel the sixth sense just, like, triggering. He's like, something isn't right. Something isn't right. I can feel it.
Oh, and they're going to come out on the opposite side, out and away. Now, the real question is, how long will Malmo
He's going to stay there forever.
The whole
He's
time.
Like, damn it. They got away.
Oh, they just saw him, actually. They just turned back around. They actually saw him go into there. They knew it.
Oh,
they knew something was there. Their spidey senses were tingling.
Yeah, and down he goes.
Oh.
The best laid trap goes unsprung, and the nade follow-up. Oh, did he get it in the window? First try?
Bum-ba-da-bum. Tink.
Oh, he got it in there, but missed the guy. So they're wondering about the teammate. Just trying to finish this off. I don't know where his teammate is. Must have SLSG. Oh, he's a little bit, he's held up by a separate team a little further to the north. So unfortunately, help is not coming, and that'll be it.
10 seconds till the first phase finishes, and this is where we're going to get to see where everyone's going to have to start migrating to. The map is quite evenly distributed for the most part across. As we can see, Nas actually ends up getting dropped there by CB. Going to get a full team wipe. Horseman picks out Woodle, and just like that, Game Wave is out.
So now we've seen the circle shift closer to center.
There they are. There's the Method team.
Jumping around. Always got the bolt action at the ready. Is that the very rare Snow Digital Car 98? I think it is.
I think it is, my friend.
I'm not sure. Well, either way, I haven't seen one of those yet, so good for you, Andy. Oh, here we go. It's the QBZ versus the Car 98. This is the remaining teammate of Mau Mouse we saw a little while ago. Holding the long peak on the Car 98. Never a good idea.
Pop goes the Weasel, and Spencer finds himself to the gray screen That was a full team wipe there. Good job. So the solo player takes out the 2v1 situation. Crook, in the meanwhile, downs Bastati from Team 1. As we got ourselves on Rick, Zick, and Nemzi. Checking themselves out, taking a little stroll through the forest as they are finding themselves into this Phase 2 white circle.
Ooh, nice. Crook taking down 2. All by his lonesome. So Team 1 also eliminated. The nade follow-up looks like someone's in trouble. Zazo goes down. Nade lands close, but does not kill him. Mr. Bong trying to support from inside. Does enough to scare off Sempra and his teammate,
Get some
Archie.
good little damage on him there, though, taking him down about 30%. He will have a plenty of first aid kits, though, to get himself back up, 75% HP. Lots of energy drinks as well.
Method getting involved, picking up their first kills. Chris taking 2. And then Silenced M24 doing work, finishing off Zazo. Now Mr. Bong has to back off. Nothing he can do.
Silenced M24 is probably one of my most favorite
Yeah, it sounds good.
sounds.
Sounds good,
Yeah.
man. Really like that myself. And it's nice that you can get the M24 much more easy than you used to be able to. So looks like is that Team 4 still on the way? Archie picking up, Semper picking up a kill for himself. Having to back off Zazo's dead body behind them. Mr. Bong not moving.
Got Mimo Effect and Clemmy G just hanging out. Don't think they have visual just yet. One's snaking on the side of the hill. The other one's hanging out in a little compound of his own. 60 players left alive, 32 of these teams. We talked a lot about the passive play style of the Europeans in the invitational qualifier, but now with this kind of competitive, I guess, addition that we have as we see the variety of professional players that are in this match, it definitely seems like you're seeing a lot more of these tactical approaches than what we're used to seeing in high-level play.
Well, the first game is always the feeling out period, and I know that if it goes any way like the nice little double kill there with the grenade as Team 13 is eliminated. If it's any way like the first region went, we will quickly see who is the top of the pack and who is not, and then they'll probably start to loosen up. I know Andy likes to have fun when he plays, and these duo tournaments are a great way to showcase individual skill. So we'll see how it shakes out. Speaking
of Andy, as well as a lot of other broadcasters, or players rather, that are going to be in this, they are broadcasting live on their Twitch channels, so make sure you go and check them out. And at any point in time as well, if you see something you like, see something you enjoy, hit that Twitch clips button, head over to Twitter, use that hashtag #BroadcasterRoyale, so that way we can show those on broadcast and check them out in the later weeks.
Kruterhampen.
That was a great pronunciation. You even put the accent on it. That was impressive.
That's a very satisfying
name to say. It's much better than the angry German you did yesterday.
I didn't do anything. Ooh. His teammate's down.
10 seconds for phase number 2. Going to get to see another shift. Hopefully we don't see another mid-island shift that we saw in the island north of boot camp.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I've never seen that before. And it's going to go the complete opposite way. It's going to go all the way southeast. And just like that, Kruterhampen gets one down, finishes. No trade available. His teammate's still alive. He might be able to get that res. And look at this Mimo Effect is just lurking with that, I believe the Vector. The classic Vector camping guy jumps up and grabs Bubber the 1 as he tries to get away. And he's getting gray. It's all going. And he will be finished off. Clemmy actually stealing that kill. I'm not sure if that was his teammate. But either way, the camping Vector guy, everyone's fan favorite, jumps up and grabs himself a kill. Meanwhile, Kruterhampen still trying to deal with maybe Wavy.
Maybe Wavy's very aware that he's in this building, and he does a great job of taking up that kill. Meanwhile, Andy Pyro takes down Freaky PUBG. Mimo Effect, Vector himself. I know your all-too-favorite weapon is it looks like we're seeing shots come from across the board. Andy's able to pick up a full team wipe there as he takes Evos as well. Nenetsky takes down TE Battle.
So 4 kills. That's a Tornado Energy Battle. So now Method being active here early. Got themselves well kitted. Lots of ammunition, decent meds. And not a bad spot either.
Not a bad spot indeed. You can see the Nanotech trying to pop some car shots off and available. Not going to be too much. He's going to try to get a little quick loot while they hide behind the corner. His teammate Crook, on the other hand, getting himself a little bit of a better angle. Try to take out stuff, but that spray from the M4 is not going to be enough. Over the ridge goes X team, and to safety he goes.
Just trying his best to spray from long distance. Gonna maybe chase this. Got that Ronnie Mimo effect. Now getting active with the QBU, but he will be downed in a trade. Outlaws seem like he's want to get aggressive. Ironmen low health as well.
Gajdi able to pick up Archie, so that's going to be a down for him.
So for Iron Mean, now going to get that res, having to med right away, but no helmet, no vest, I believe, on his teammate. Can't see the vest over that shirt, I don't think, but Crook looking to try and capitalize.
I like to wear my Hawaiian shirt outside of my bulletproof vest.
I hear you. Makes sense. Oh, and gets a little distracted, and just like that, the Vector King and Clemmy go down to the now rezzed Outlaw and Iron Mean.
48 members left alive, 28 teams. We've got about 40 seconds for that phase number 3 to finish. Nemzi able to pick up that kill on a Skiza Boy. As, again, evenly distributed across the side of the map. Ronnie Cray saw something, but it didn't look like he wants to take a shot just yet. Wants to be a little bit careful.
So Snark got himself a kill as well. And just like that, we're starting now to see this shake out. Looks like Ronnie's trying to find a shot. Can't find it just yet. Demon is just down below him.
Nanotech gets a nice little frag grenade there onto Crook. Get that final kill off onto him. 45 members left alive, 27 teams. And it seems like a lot of these pro players that you were talking about earlier are still finding themselves well and alive. Maybe Wavy, just as I say that, is able to get it down on a D2 mash.
It's Ronnie Cray. Woo, baby. Nice spray at that long distance Forza, just like that, going down and out very quickly. So that is one of the better teams eliminated very early here.
We can take a look at the map and see where our next circle is going to end up taking us. We've got about 25 seconds till that blue zone is going to start. And see where we're going to end ourselves up. We are going to be staying kind of in the central. It moved a little bit to the central northeast. Teams are very heavily on that western side, as you can see on the map. We're going to be coming in. So now you're going to start to see some clusters. And this is the excitement that you're used to seeing from Sanok. Andy taking himself down. A nice little headshot there.
Undercover Pie's down. Now it's up to Schnark. He's going to have to clutch this in a 2v1. The nade follow-up coming, looking to finish Undercover Pie. That looks like it's landing right near Schnark, however. Having to back off. Lands a little bit wide, but goes for the finish, unfortunately. So Undercover Pie eliminated. So Marco Del Vecchio and Barak have to try and get around Schnark. They want to finish this fight, I think. Meanwhile, Method is staying extremely active. They've been picking up kills left, right, and center. And now we're quickly headed towards the end of the mid-game. The blue shift in phase 4 now started. Schnark having to prone out, looking for any movement.
Barak found him, though, so he's going to get a nice little pickup. Bada bing, bada boom. Will end up falling down. X-Team ends up getting killed immediately by Noname, which will put them at the full team wipe, which will be 24th place. Ego Bacon tries to get into the motorcycle, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to get immediately dropped down by Outlaw. 37 players left alive. The phase 4 circle's got less than 60 seconds until it gets completed. You can see it moving in onto these players, so they're going to have to be forced to rotate pretty quickly. They want to keep themselves up and alive.
Iron Mean having saved his team. Now looking towards Frost Viper and his teammate. Nothing to be spotted. Here's Andy Pyro. Got that M24 now on his own. Getting lots of pressure from multiple angles. Ooh, does tag him on the way down. Nemezi taking a lot of damage. Digger on the way down as well. Digger himself, a good player in his own right. Andy, known for his aggressive style, not afraid to jump out and grab some kills. Has burned him in the past as far as going down early is concerned, but in this environment, I think he's well suited to play his style and be successful.
And he's done a pretty good job thus far. Him as well as Chris have netted themselves 5 kills already in this opening map here for our open qualifier number 1. Remember, this is not, despite the fact of the competitive involvement that you see, this is an open qualifier, so anyone and everyone was able to sign up into this. Fortunately for you watching at home, we've got all sorts of competitive players to kind of spruce up the action to give us some extra excitement. The Storm is going to end up taking out Rip.
I can't believe you keep saying Storm.
I said circle.
No, you didn't.
I said storm. It's a stormy circle. It's a circly storm.
We're going to breathe this out of you one way or the other.
Yeah.
As we see another team wipe as Horseman and Steve go down to Sempra. Now Kuhn is taken down. Actually, he takes down Raptor to Raptor. So Raptor to Raptor going out early. His teammate there now trying to defend. Meanwhile, Das Regal. Ooh, does not. Oh, he does actually finish it off. And that is Raptors team being eliminated. Unfortunate start for former professional player Raptor to Raptor.
Deegs picks up that kill on a Mr. Bong as well. 25 players left alive, and everybody's going to have to shift towards the north now.
Yeah, I was going to mention this. This was a circle that went further north, and there is a lot alive for this. 24, you can see all the names piled up on your screen. A couple of dead bodies interspersed, mind you. Raptor to Raptor is dead, as is Mr. Bong. So for those who have found their way into the new zone, hopefully they have a nice piece of cover because there's a lot of pressure coming their way.
Turbo Banani going to have to get himself up. Deeks finds himself on a terrible spot of the circle's going to be there. Towser's going to be able to get a nice little pink onto him. Ooh. Calvin Klein thought about trying to loop, but then realized that the circle is there. Not the best spot for him to be in. Sampre, not enough time as well, as Calvin Klein will be able to take them out. Chris takes down Das Regal, so the Method Boys continuing to get themselves up some kills. Frag comes out now as we are on.
Ooh, that landed close.
Yeah, it did.
So Method now with 6 kills. Looking to the circle edge. They know they're missing somebody. Chris just looking for any transitioning players. And Nanotech and Team 24 have been gifted the circle. They have buildings in the new zone. Method has only 1 player standing in their way. Well, 2 players with Digger there standing in their way of clearing out their entire side of the play zone. But will have to make their way into a very tough bit of map. There we go. Picking up 1 kill. Now only Digger stands in their way, and they'll have a lot of space to maneuver. But it's going to be about how they deal with moving on top of these buildings. But everyone playing on the edge has the same problem.
There indeed. Brock's going to pick up that nice little pop onto Rules the God. Swalker onto Tuba Banani, getting the final finish for him. As Team 30 secures themselves 11. Team 3 eliminated as well. That's going to be the clean wipe from 2 different individuals. Brock and Scushi. Iron Mean ends up getting the full clean as well. So now this is where games are really starting to get just cleaned up as they're having to rotate towards this northern side. Less than 30 seconds for phase 6, so they're going to have to get to moving and scooting pretty early.
Moving around, Brock now trying to escape, has teammate down, but giving him information is Trifoli, most recently of Wildcard, pressing forward. As far as I know, there's like 45 people on Wildcard's roster.
They just have this just infinitely long
and
deep roster.
That flash looked like it was on point. Barak trying to stave off Trifoli, getting him very low. His teammate on the low side flank, but he's going aggro. Oh, he thought the med wasn't done yet. That's a mistake right there. Barak just barely mistiming that press. Trifoli hitting that clutch med and returning fire, taking him down. Well thought out, but just slightly mistimed.
Ended up costing him his life, as now only 11 members are left alive. Ronnie Cray and Icy Demon, as we can see right now. Back to the Method Boys, Chris and Andy. 8 kills are in their pocket thus far. They're in a solid position. They've got their backs completely covered by the circle. This rock to get themselves some covers, as well as some little piece of extra movement, as now these compounds that are inside the circle.
You can call it the blue. You can call it the circle. But one thing it is not is a storm.
Okay. Fair. Fair.
Or gas. I used to say gas a lot. I know what it's like. I've been there.
Yeah, okay. Swaker gets it down on Asuchi. And remember, DGT Swaker's all by himself now, as he's actually able to get a nice
surprise. The grenade just barely covering the tracks, but doesn't matter. Swaker goes down. Nanotech taking control of the buildings. Method encroaching, however, now with 9 kills. I think these guys are the favorites. Andy getting himself a kill. Let's stick with this POV. It's now in the top 5.
Yeah, let's stay on these Method guys as we...
Hey, how are... just barely missing.
Double digits in kills thus far. Is he going to be able to get the peak?
Oh!
It was, you think it'd be the trade, but Chris ends up going down. Thankfully, Andy is there to get himself onto the revive. We're going to swap over to Nanotech's view now, as he's going to try to get those little feet shots underneath. Instead, he's going to get himself a closed door. He's got some knowledge now, so he's going to have to rotate himself around. 19 seconds until this Phase 8 begins. There are 5 players left alive. It is a 2v2v1. As Chris did get revived by Andy Pyro there.
No helmet, though.
Nope, no helmet indeed.
Ooh.
Lots of damage there on the walls.
Getting after it.
Solo man. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Nanotech doing his best. He's trying to hold these peaks, see if he can get anything going. Gonna try and maybe bait with the smoke grenade, see if he can get Lawls to move around. Meanwhile, Method has their utility out. Nanotech getting caught up on the stairs, doing his best, gets 1 and 2 with a spray down. And that's a nice pickup for him, but he will be finished off. And just like that, Method sneaks in and steals the round from Nanotech. So Chris and Andy with 11 kills taking game number 1. Nanotech with the solo effort with 4 kills, 6 total on the team. Nice plays, but ultimately the first game goes to Method.
Got to give a lot of credit to Nanotech, though.
Yeah,
being able
good.
to, the end of that match, being able to clear out, I believe it was 2 or 3 of those buildings, clearing out 1 or 2 members, getting the final 1v2 at the end there. Didn't have any sort of meds or anything to get himself up away from the Method team, but still securing himself second piece. But as you mentioned, it is also Method, Andy Pyro, as well as Chris that walk away with the Game 1 victory.
Easy. Easy for Andy, as they say.
It was indeed, but I don't have a sexy transition for this one. I'm just gonna say it. Spa Day Crates. Ladies and gentlemen, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Twitch Prime have linked it and hooked it up for you. This delightful month, if you have Twitch Prime, you can get yourself a Spa Day Crate, which will include the delights that you see on your screen, male and female versions, whichever of those you prefer. When we come back, we're headed to the OG, Erangel, as well as map number 2 for the European region.
Looking good.
Oh my God! They're just trying to go for position. Nice shots coming up from the...
Welcome back, everybody. We told you we would be back. Broadcaster Royale presented by Twitch Prime. This is Moses. My name is Jump, and we just watched our map number 1 conclude for the European region. Method taking away the victory. We said Andy Pyro was the favorite. Well, him and Chris did certainly just that.
Played very well. They did sneak in and kind of steal one from a solo player doing his best to try and steal that round. But, you know, Nanotech played it as best he could.
So now, taking a look at what we saw from yesterday as well as the open qualifiers for the APAC region today, what are you seeing as the big difference now that we have actual competitive players in the mix?
Well, the big difference is just the style of play. I mean, Sandhawk is still a new map for a lot of these guys who spend most of their time scrimming and just generally playing on either Erangel or Miramar, with PGI coming up, Miramar in the rotation. I imagine that Sandhawk is more of what they're doing on their streams or to unwind, or maybe on the random duo tournament, kind of like we have here, or if it's not with GLL or whomever else that plays maps on Sandhawk, it's just not something they've spent a lot of time with. So the first game is always a feeler, see what the competition's like, and I think we'll start to see the cream rise from the crop, as they say, right? So.
We will indeed, because we are headed back to Erangel. But before that, we want to know who you guys think is going to win. So make sure you head over to Twitter, use the hashtag BroadcasterRoyale, and let us know who you feel is going to win and walk away with the victories today. Remember, the top 20 teams will find themselves in the regional finals. That will take place August 11th and 12th. August 4th and 5th, mind you, the second qualifier for both the Invitational as well as the Open Path. But we've said it. We've stalled it. We're not going to stall any longer. Map number 2 is about to go underway, and we're headed to Erangel.
Yes. I guess we'll be there shortly.
We're getting word that I threw way too early.
It's only a minute.
So don't worry about it. It's actually, it's about a minute. Sorry, guys. Not really. How's your day?
I'm doing well. You know what? I had this conversation yesterday a little bit, and I'll reiterate something that I've said in the past. It can be very easy for a spectator to see the X-ray, to see how the spectate client observes a player, and you might think to yourself, I've never seen that before. That guy must be cheating. I've got terrible news for you.
You're wrong.
There are players out there that are better than you.
What?
Just because people exist that are better than you does not mean that they're automatically cheating. So holster those accusations. We are headed to Miramar. What is happening?
I literally was waiting for that entire explanation just so we could have people accuse us. Because I was wrong, guys. Yeah. We're not actually going to Erangel. We're going to Miramar. Surprise! We're going to do Erangel map number 4. That was a... I'm going to blame the intern.
Wherever you are, Jorby, quit messing with the map rotation. It's not like we've been conditioned over the last 3 rounds to know that Erangel comes after Miramar, or Erangel comes after Sandhawk. But here we are in Miramar, mixing it up.
Dun, 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 dun. We are seeing a south to north map rotation. Remember, we want to keep an eye on the Method boys themselves, Chris and Andy, as they secured themselves a Game 1 victory. But we also want to highlight a couple other mirrors. Specifically, I want to see Nanotech and his partner, as they did secure themselves a number 2 spot. We will get the kills and point standings for you guys when we have that available. In the meantime, enjoy this delightful music, Pan, and the juicy goodness of falling down from the sky.
See who chooses Power Grid. Not only am I the mayor of Gatka, but I am the superintendent of the Power Grid, so we'll see who chooses that. Looks like there is going to be a little bit of contestant happening there.
Is it the Power Grid Magnet School? Like,
yeah.
Is there...
It looks like it. Power Grid's such a good spot. It's similar to Gatka that you can get some decent early fights there. I play a lot of solo because, I mean, that's just my preferred game mode, but...
I thought it's because you said you... I thought it's because you were going to say you're lonely.
Because I'm lonely?
Yeah.
No, I just like playing solo.
There you
can
go.
Engage with the chat a little better. It's a little bit more fun.
Twitch.tv/WTF Moses, for those of you that are wondering.
Appreciate it. And not to mention, I think that solo is probably, I would say it's probably the easiest game to win as well. You get less competition on solo, mainly because you're only playing against individual players.
Well, the only one you can blame him is yourself.
Yeah,
too.
Is the
true feeling.
I spend a lot of time teaching people about the game, and at least from a ladder play perspective, and really solo is a great way to learn the ins and outs of the game. If you're new to the game or inexperienced and you want to try it out, Soul is the way to go. Oh, look at that.
And look at that. We saw a northwestern circle, even northwest of El Pozo in our previous Miramar today. And now it is the southeastern side of Miramar, as people are going to have to trek quite a ways. But with this being a much more competitive lobby than what we have seen in a couple of the other instances, actually, just as we
If you're not fighting other players, you're fighting the three-seater motorcycle.
You gotta beat the three-seat motorcycle. It's the biggest mini-boss in the game.
Playing with fire here.
Oh, yeah.
He's just trying to catch up to his teammate, who's considerably farther ahead. But
oh, here it goes again.
He's just barely hanging on at this stage.
He got the short end of the stick.
Just trying. There, you got to find a nice flat surface to drive on. So this circle is going to present some challenges for those who are in the far reaches of the Northwest.
Please, Moses, tell me what those challenges may be.
Well, Miramar is difficult to navigate in a vehicle as it is, but having to get that far is going to take twice as long because you're going up and down hills, you're dealing with the bumps in the road, dealing with whatever players you might come across, and getting all the way down to that Impala region outside Los Leones, where you see Team 26 has got the center of the zone and are trash looting.
Meanwhile, Undercover Pie gets downed almost immediately there by 100 IQ.
So it looks like the remnants of Gale Force Esports and Energy are coming across Raptors team, looking to bounce back from last game. It went out a little earlier than I imagined they wanted to. And that's that.
Just like that, Undercover Pie goes down, and we had Malmos have another. Can we go to Malmos right now, please? Can we swap our observer over to that, because we have now seen yet again the difficulty.
Ooh,
lots of yummy.
That's a nice crate.
Yeah, very nice.
If that was a med kit instead of a first aid, I think that would be an A+ crate right there. The AWM, always a nice pickup. The level 3 helmet and the vest, also going to be a bonus. Was Malmouse on the motorcycle? Is that what we're concerned about?
Yeah, Malmouse was on.
Well, he fell down, so we know what happened to him.
Yeah. If only we could.
Three-seater strikes again.
It does. It has taken many lives. Is it bad, though, that the Vector has taken more lives than a three-seater throughout this tournament?
The Vector is you know, it's a trash gun, but it's at least more predictable than the three-seater can be.
It's true. That's actually a very, very accurate statement. As Ronnie Cray picks up a full kill on a Das Regal. Standings. This is what we were waiting for. Method, like we said, sitting top at 244 points. Award at 214. And Dallas, 209. Team Hugs at 192. And then Kitchen, with a question mark, at 186.
So Method atop the standings, but looking down the list, Singularity at down towards the end of the leaderboard. This is everyone who's currently 20th place or better. So this is the top half of the leaderboard. Raptors team just barely holding on at Team 18 out of 20.
Now remember,
but otherwise, kind of a predictable start.
Yeah, very predictable start indeed. Because this much more competitive nature that we are seeing in this specific lobby here for the EU Open qualifier, we are seeing players spread out, evenly distributed. They've got their comfort zones of where they like to drop. They've got their comfort zones of where they like to be. And now it is more of just the cross-road, cross-country trek to try to get themselves inside this first circle. We got about 60 seconds until the blue zone is going to start to move. And then from there, it is hi-ho silver, as these teams are going to try to get themselves inside that white circle.
So the map, Miramar, in a nutshell, is kind of the slow early game. I would kind of like to see a faster first circle in this map, just due to the nature of how long it can take to make that first transition. But ultimately, that first phase is underway. The blue is about to start to move. And for the most part, slow and steady as Horseman down.
Killer Street hanging out around here, but he's going to get some shots taken out onto him.
Solar doing damage. Where's it coming from? He doesn't know.
No idea at all, but it does look like Slide's able to get that down.
Oh, baby.
Bada bing, bada boom. That's going to be a team kill. And a full jump out the window. Didn't break any legs or bones, and so he's going to run and get some nice, sexy loot from those kills that he just got.
You know, know what? That was a really wide peak by Honey Badgers. I'm surprised. Like, he knows where it's coming from. He doesn't have the ability to take a one-shot. Maybe the fact that they have the teammate down gave him a little bit too much confidence. But he gives that wide peak and gets punished, and just like that, they find themselves eliminated.
Talked about it all day, that full body peak. The most comfortable of positions for you to be in anytime you're contesting someone from the enemy. It looks like we've got a solo little pickup truck. Hunflix and Brooksy trying to get themselves any piece of extra loot. Jumping right through the window, seeing what they have available. Meanwhile, Woody picks up that kill on a Trifley. Or the down, rather. 71 left alive.
So already you can see how long it can take to get to that first zone. The circle now encroaching. Method, our first place team, very far north, just south of the Oasis area. Maybe looking to pick up a kill on Nemez, who's driving past in a vehicle. We'll see if Method can pick up a kill here. Skew behind them, dealing with another transitioning player. But here's Nanotech, the hero from game number 1. Tried his best to clutch and win it against Method, but just a little bit too little for him to be able to hang on to that. Here's Method blasting away at the transitioning vehicles.
Trying to bob and weave best they can. Gonna have to be forced to reload. Might be too far away. Meanwhile, Nas is gonna pick up that full team kill on a Trifley and Squee.
You say that name differently every time you try.
I'm trying to figure out which one feels best.
Yeah.
Skushki? I think Skushki's like the actual
I'm just gonna say Skew.
Skew? All right.
So Trifley and Skew going out early. Trifley, a good player in his own right, having a tough start to game number 2, going out so late. Early, I should say.
Bastati, the Lone Ranger here, showed up in the lobby all by himself. He's got a couple little good things, but nothing too crazy. 69 players left alive, as we still have a little under 3 minutes before the first phase finishes, and the next blue zone is created. Fall damage care there from Snark, so he's going to end up going down. Won't be finding the goodness anytime soon. As we pan back to the map here and see where everybody's going. We've got some shots happening across. We can actually see Turbo Benet as well as Laws kind of going at each other here from across the roads. We could probably head back over there. Team 30 versus Team 19. Can see the shots that they're coming off the mark for. There we go. Get a good little visual on them.
So now that first play zone is starting to fill up, the center strategy definitely key here. Even a couple people hanging out in the prison island. Tornado Energy Battle, trying to make their way along the bottom edge of the road. Digger and his compadre, Reese, in vehicles alongside the south. Method not in any rush to make that first zone, but that slow-moving blue doing some tick damage. And that's that. Just kind of waiting. Get in the zone, y'all.
Get in the zone. Auto zone. Did you like that? I should be a voiceover.
I guess so.
I guess so. That's all I got.
Some free
That's
advertising.
All I got. The longer that this broadcast goes, the less success rate of these jokes are going to be. I'm just letting you know now.
Well, you started at such a high percentage. I don't know how that's possible.
I did.
So Crook and Nanotech chilling in Leonis.
Little vehicle kill there. Deeks picking that up over Wick. 67 players left alive.
Budget Wick.
Budget Wick. Oh.
Looking to try. Ooh. Hey, how are you? I was gonna say it looked like Nanotech was gonna get some more headshot action going on there, but
instead it looks like Skis Boy and Bushi trying to see what they can find themselves off.
ooh, I hear a flare gun go off.
There is. That's the first flare gun of the game, or of the EU region actually. Didn't have one go off in Sanhok yesterday, or Sanhok today.
Yeah, it's not really worthwhile for that armored UAS, but maybe on Miramar it'll find some use. Mr. Bong chillin'. Schizo Boy maybe looking to try and breach the compound. I think they're aware that he's in there.
Yeah, they're playing very cautious right now. Not too sure where everybody is on stuff. They definitely are inside the circle, so they don't have to worry. 10 seconds until that first phase completes, and then we're going to get to see where our first real shift of the game is going to happen. We can get ourselves done and down. We still have a few members outside of the zone, as you can see, finding themselves in the blue. A little bit of damage, and just like that, now it's being shifted east over by Impala. Everybody's going to have to get out of Los Leones and rotate themselves to the east, as well as everybody that's on that southwestern, southern side of Miramar, and force themselves up to this coastline.
So this is a great time to explain the concept of map pressure, where there will be lots of traffic. That's where pressure begins to build. And in this case, with nearly 50% water remaining in this next play zone as well, there's going to be a ton of map pressure on that western side. So for teams like Method, who have already arrived late, it might be a bit difficult to make headway into the next play zone, as Brooksy looks like he's in pursuit of Bubber.
Trying to see, I don't think he has a visual on him just yet. We haven't seen him aim down any type of sights or anything of the sort. But just as I say that, he tries to get over Bubber. He's going to try to get himself some bandages as well as those stems. He'll get himself in a little bit more of an advantageous position. As we can see, 67 left alive. There's Flix, Brooksy's partner. Bushi getting some shots down onto Mr. Bong. So Mr. Bong caught in a little bit of a difficult spot right now.
Getting his vehicle disabled. He was trying to smoke, maybe try and make an escape. But Bushi knows what's up and disables as best he can.
Simpre ends up knocking himself out with a vehicle. Meanwhile, Kruterhampen wasn't as good as yours. Kruterhampen.
Chilling with his buddy Tiltus. You can hear the shots ahead. Zazo going down. Schizo Boy still trying to figure out what's going on with Mr. Bong, who's just making his escape. He's got that full boost going. Mr. Bong sprinting into the horizon.
We can actually take a look at the map. We still have a couple members that are outside of that blue zone right now. One of them specifically being Kruterhampen, as well as Titus. The Method guys, wow, they are certainly lagging behind on this first circle.
Yeah, and the circle continues to push further and further away, maybe looking to find two separate vehicles to use. They've had enough time that I imagine they could have picked up some extra meds, but for Method, it's going to be about trying to navigate the swaths of players that are going to be in that western side.
Definitely a more conservative style for Method as well at this game.
It's just a slow start. I think they were too far away from the initial zone. Method never wants to rush, and most pro players won't rush to the first zone. They'll take that zone tick damage and just kind of grab vehicles, do whatever. But coming in on the edge in this case might be beneficial depending on where they come in, or they could just be immediately wiped if, I mean, this zone is now moving, so it's not good for them. That second transition is going to mean more damage and less room to move as Kuhn's got a flank.
Ooh, nice little flank there coming in onto Ivas. Doesn't know where the teammate is. He will go ahead and get the finish. Reese, in the meanwhile, is going to drown, so he won't find himself in a good spot. Molotov comes out onto the side here.
Reese drowned.
Molotov at a gas station. Not your biggest and your best combinations.
I imagine that that the workplace health and safety would not like that Molotov usage around the gas pumps.
Don't smoke around. You know that they used to tell you not to use your cell phones around gas pumps and things of that?
And planes and everything else, too.
Yeah.
It's back when people were scared of technology like cavemen.
Horrified.
And maybe cell phones were just like, I don't know, for some reason generating sparks like a rotary phone or something like that.
Yeah, but see, you used to be able to laugh and be like, "Oh, that's a thing," and then the Note 7 came out, and everybody had to ban it from airplanes because it was literally spontaneously combust.
I guess that's true too. But when your phone's exploding, that's a bit of a different story. Not just like, well, you see, it interferes with the equipment. But then again, I'm not an aviation mechanic. I don't know how radio waves work. I'm not a scientist. I just want to use my cell phone at all times because I'm a knuckle-dragging idiot.
You said it, not me.
I want to use my phone to check memes. I don't care if it crashes the planes. Oh, Noth. Ooh, that was some damage coming out.
And he's still alive, has 1 HP. About as close to a definition, if not the definition of one shot away. 54 members still left alive. Just over 16 minutes into this game. For those of you that are just joining us, this is Open Qualifier number 1. And while it is an open qualifier and everyone having a chance to sign up, we have a plethora of professional players that are coming and hanging out with us today. Outlaw finally picks up that kill onto Noth. This is map number 2. We are on Miramar. We'll be going back to Sanok after this.
This is the issue.
Are the guys.
Couldn't get into the zone. Now they're being held out. So we've seen another shift. Move a little bit further north. Method does have cover. They have the watchful eyes of Archie looking at them. We'll see if they can get themselves out of that bind. But meanwhile, Schizo Boy getting along the backside of Brooksy here.
I'd like actually if we could probably swap over to the Method guys and see what their kind of point of view is right now and how they are potentially navigating this current situation. Method actually, Chris takes down Rigzik, but Nemzi picks up that down onto Andy. So it is a 1-for-1 trade thus now. Both teams probably going to be, actually, the Method is in a position to res the teammates, but Rigzik's
going to try and finish Andy.
Oh, Nemzi's going to find him in a spot. Not going to be enough.
Chris is doing a good job of covering. I think the utility has come out, so yes, that will cover Andy just barely. Oh, through the smoke.
So they're going to go down and finish 26th on the bottom 50% of this 40-team lobby, and that's not going to be good for this Method squad as this team, or as this game continues to progress.
Getting spammed through the smoke. Happens to everybody, but Nemzi picking up some kills, and just like that, the first place team having a rough game too, but surprise, Han has got a flank and doesn't get the trade, or the 2 kills, I should say. Brooksy just having a bit of a freak out there.
My teammate's down. he's reacting the way any normal person would be if your friend just got shot. Nanotech and Crook just gonna pop themselves some pills, try to get themselves healed up.
Kauzera in the blue, having to make a mad dash. Circle on the move. And it looks like Lawls has themselves a good spot. We'll see if Nanotech and Crook can convert on this decent start. Oh my God, just drives right over top of him in the motorcycle. It's maybe wavy now. Oh, loses his target, unfortunately, and will go down. And just like that, a bunch of players have been downed and killed as this zone pressure now begins to overflow. Outlaw just to the west of that first engagement, shooting down towards where we just saw that last fight happen. Iron Mean just a little bit further behind.
36 players left alive. Phase number 3 is less than 60 seconds from completing. You've got all of Impala left in the zone just now. Method, the guys that won map number 1 have been eliminated. They finished 26 of 40th, for those of you that are just joining us here for map number 2. It's now Stunky and KIC, the group that we're on right now, have found themselves on the outskirts of the circle trying to get stuff. Meanwhile, Marco and Burak trying to get themselves something from this little bit of a building. And we can actually take a look again at this top 20 stats. We've got Method, as we mentioned, are at 244. Some of the others are still in this match. So with that lead not being too crazy, this leaderboard is definitely going to get switched up at the end of this map.
Shooting at the wall there. Might have just been a visual bug. I'm not sure if he was actually shooting out the window. Nanotech actually grabs that motorcycle. He's right next to Karn. Karn starts firing. That AK lands a couple. Nanotech will be able to just get out of the line of sight, however.
Barely alive, Nanotech yet again finds himself out. Ronnie Cray goes down to freeze. Swalker actually finishes the kill onto Ronnie Cray, so he only has one of his teammates alive. And just as I say that about Nanotech, Turbo Banana.
So that's the second place team, or the second finishing team of last game, going down also outside the top 20.
Much different from any of the other game or any of the other regions that we've had leading up into this point. The leaderboards were fairly consistent throughout the course of those games, but in this instance, it definitely is going to be a bit of a switch up as the hay bale provides the last piece of cover there for Digger. So he's going to have to get himself nice and healed up. Svanster, though, knows where he is.
Oh, that looks all right.
Cook himself a grenade. The long toss happens.
Oh,
he's able to get him up, and
right
just like that, the three-pointer from downtown knocks out Team 5, and Digger Svanster locking down that kill.
So Brooksy and Flix have themselves 6 kills. Tauzera and Calvin Klein have 5. Both making their way into the blue, or out of the blue, I should say, and into the current play zone. There's Forza having a rough start last game, looking to bounce back. Ander does see them.
They're still hanging out nice and comfy. We can actually take a look at the next circle and where this phase 4 ended up at. I said from the first one, all of Impala is in. Now only half of Impala is in, as they're going to have to be rotating themselves around to the southwestern side. Thankfully, the majority of the teams are already in the proximity of that circle, but there still is going to be some rotations. You can see 20 Sports is going to have to rotate around, as well as Flix, Cam. They're going to find themselves in and around a little bit, so still some room to work with as the circle continues to get smaller.
Stunky looking to see if he can get some vision with that Mark 14. He's got an open position here. See if he can use it to some effect. Forza using one of their mates, unable to get the res. Lawls and Team 19 have the dead center of the zone. Back with Tauzera here. Trying to follow up with the nade, lands a little short. He's got that silence. Come back, his kick.
Oh, he tries to get a little bit of a flank on a Simpry, but he's going to get spotted out almost immediately.
Ooh.
The spray is just enough with the ending rounds of that AK, as KIC is able to pick up that kill on a Simpry. Stunky goes down, though, to Seeb. As now you're going to have a nice little shots. They're going to try to snake themselves, but it's not going to be enough just yet. Towser doing a really good job, but he's going to get started out almost immediately. So just like that, Team 12 is going to go down. 26 members left alive. Nemzi, the only one left for Team 15, as Rick Zick unfortunately went down. He's going to have a little bit of a shot, but he doesn't want to fire just yet to see if he can get a little bit closer to potentially get some shots there on a Nemzi.
So it looked like Calvin Klein lost focus just for a minute and was taken down. And now Flix and Brooksy are just rolling through their portion of the edge of the circle.
7 kills, Flix and Brooksy, already in this game, so they're starting to rack themselves some ups. Could see them climb to the upper echelons of the leaderboard at the end of this match, depending on how their finish ends up. There are still 15 teams alive, so plenty of players left to go around.
Only 4 players in now the new play zone, as all of them are going to have to move away from the coast in Impala into the new zone. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for them. Lots of pressure again on the eastern side now, as Flix and Brooksy.
Smart decision to not take the shots. They do have a long ways to run still, so
they don't want to start a fight now.
No, they know that there are probably some other members around them. They don't have clear coverage of their north or their south region, so instead they're just going to slow roll themselves west a little bit longer. They do know a rough area is going to be a nice little hide behind the trailer, and Mel's going to be able to pick that kill up on a freeze if he's surprised behind the trailer.
Really got him.
Did you live anywhere near a farm growing up, by chance?
Yeah.
Yeah? How was that?
I live in like the Texas of Canada.
The Texas of Canada? Okay.
Yeah. Oil and farms.
Oil and farms. Did you ever go on hay bale rides?
Probably.
Yeah? On the back of a flatbed trailer, a little bit of hay, so,
Yeah.
Go for a ride around.
I did.
They're fun,
What of it?
I don't know. I just saw the trailer. It had hay on it.
And that prompted you about hay rides?
Prompted the memory of my childhood.
Would you spend a lot of time in the back of wagons?
Yeah.
Were you on the Oregon Trail? Did some of your family die of dysentery or something like that? What happened?
My family was from Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
They were ranchers.
Got it.
So it was more cattle herding.
Got it.
Couple shots coming out of No Name.
I got the one smoke down, but he's now just had to kind of dodge around, doing his best. Mr. Bong, however, jumps up and grabs himself a kill.
Still alive. He has been a solo player for the majority of this game, as Bastati has been able to pick up that going to Borax. But just as we say that, Castro's curse is real. 12th place goes Mr. Bong and his team, as Outlaw and Iron Mean switching over to them. We've got about 60 seconds until this next phase happens. It's continuously moving towards the southwestern side. Fours D2 mash goes down to Karn. Nice little headshot there.
Marco Del Vecchio trying to get to his down teammate. Here comes the follow-up grenade. See if it lands true. Doesn't look like it. No. AWM in action as Karn takes down Brooksy, and now he's looking to push the team. Looks going for the res. He might clutch it. He does. Now he's going to have 2 peaks coming, and he does not get the down or the kill.
The blind push into the field.
Uh-oh. His teammate's committed to it.
He is. He's got a little bit of a
down. He got it down in turn, so it looks like Mooley was able to get another down, and they're going to reset this fight as both look to med. It looks like Karn has the advantage, at least from the helmet. Maybe the vest got destroyed in that engagement.
Further into the circle they go. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different teams on this northeastern side. Make that 4 teams now, as Flix and his teammate are going to get themselves yet another team wipe. They have been absolutely tearing it up this round, as they have netted themselves now 9 or I believe 10 kills thus far. 15 players left alive, 9 different teams, so lots of solo players. They're going to be kicking themselves. We've got the snakes in the grass, Banani and Kuhn.
Looks like Brooksy and Flix got the upper hand now with 9 total kills. If they can convert this into a win, that would be big for their standings. Ander finishing out Nemzi. Just like that, we're down to 8 teams, 14 alive. Zone 20 more seconds before it begins its next move. The nades around this town have been coming hot and heavy as Outlaw and Iron Mean try and displace Barak.
And none of these buildings are in the circle as well, so everybody that is around this area, these 3 teams, are going to have to be forced to move and get themselves in and across the road almost. So they're doing a good job at kind of coasting out and scoping out which of these buildings is there. Flix and Brooksy, meanwhile, are using the solo cover of this tractor, as well as the tiny little pieces of that 3-cart buggy, or 3-cart motorcycle, rather, to help you out. Marco De Velci goes down by Outlaw. Barak goes down, so that's going to be Team 29 eliminated by Outlaws. So now we're down to 12 alive, 7 teams left available.
Brooksy is finished off, as now it's up to Flix. And you're kind of stuck behind this tractor. So Flix is going to grab his teammates' meds. Anders is actually hitting some nice car shots here.
It's going to mean 11 players left alive. Laws is going to throw a little bit of some utility out to help provide a little bit of a distraction and extra potential for cover, as we've got the little campers in the shed here hanging themselves out. There are still these 2 players on this northwestern side of the map, Frost Viper and No Name. They've netted themselves 4 kills this game. They're going to find somebody up in the mark, the snaking, the zigzags. I'm going to
Serpentine.
I'm going to weave. If you can dodge a bullet, you can dodge a ball. And they don't actually able to do that. Laws ends up going down. His teammate will still be alive, but he is going to go back to the lobby, as he is dead in rights.
Trying to pick up some more kills. Frost Viper got that M24, the high ground on the edge of the circle. Not a lot of cover to work with. Iron Mean's down now to Kuhn, so it's a matter of will they be able to get that res. Frost Viper putting lots of pressure onto Ander. And he will be just threading the needle. And that is going to be Ander going down,
Just
now down to top 8.
Under the truck is able to get him. 6 teams, 8 left alive. It is a 3 teams of 2 and 2 solos that we're going to have to be keeping our eyes on. Frost Viper and No Name have had really good positioning thus far. But, oh no, Flix goes down. Anticlimactic for Flix, as well as his teammate. They unfortunately aren't able to get anything else. Now it is 5 teams, 7 players left alive. So 1 solo and the rest are duos. So these rotations and these quick turns are going to be very important. And Viper is going to have to definitely try to see if he can hit himself these shots.
There's a ridge in play that I think maybe could be utilized a little bit better, but no one wants to come away from their cover on the edge of the zone. Bastati, the solo player. And we have Turbo Banani, Team 30, bold and strong. And the zone has shifted in favor of Frost Viper and No Names.
Bastati, mind you, as well, has been a solo player this entire game. So he has had to play for himself the entire time. Banani as well as Horseman are going to have to move themselves into the circle. Looks like it's going to be the slow creep. It's the one duo that is left remaining, No Name and Viper. We're going to try to do what they can. Banani trying to see if he can loop himself around with Kuhn. Very cautious play from all of these players.
So now it's going to be a matter of who is going to survive from a solo perspective. Now 4 teams left, 6 total players. It's a 3-way fight, but not a lot of maneuverability as Turbo Banani takes a couple of shots, but lands a few in return.
Gonna have to move, though, on the far side of this circle.
Yep.
Not the best place for them to be. He's going to try to rotate himself
Use
around
that ridge
to the north side. He wants to get to that ridge, but he's going to take a lot
not
of damage.
Not going to be able to do it.
Kuhn's going to try to get his little bob and weave as well. Might try to turn, but it doesn't matter. That's going to be a full team wipe. It's now 4 players left alive. As No Name and Viper looking in prime position to win this game.
Looks like it. Outlaw has been doing well to pick up kills, and now Frost Viper will go down. Nice headshot. He will pick that up and looks like try and finish. So now it's going to be a 1v1v1 as No Name's trying to avenge his down teammate. Bastati just kind of chilling, not really staying active. He's not really exposing himself at all. There he is. He can see maybe just the top of Outlaw's head. He wants to try and hit this Kar 98 shot. I would probably wait, but he's going to go for it. It's not a Kar 98, it's a Mini, and No Name will actually steal that kill. So now a 1v1 situation, Mini v Mini.
Yep, he knows exactly where he's at, and thankfully to No Name, Bastati has to come to him, and there is next to no cover left available. And so now it's going to be up to Bastati to hit what little pieces of shot windows he has available. Has a little bit of utility there, so that's good. Potentially can bob and weave through some of this smoke. Oh, that's
right
going to be
dome.
a rinky-dink. Hello.
Nice shot by No Name, but now the utility's gone out. He's only got bandages. This is going to cost him a lot of time. He can get and use this little ridge in front of him, but having taken that initial headshot has set him back considerably in his movement, and just like that, only 5 seconds before the zone begins to force him into the open.
Oh,
the smoke is out. No Name cannot see him moving. Still expecting a peek there.
oh.
Missed him moving entirely.
Yeah, Bastati got off onto this. If he plays this carefully, he might be able to get a nice little flank there onto No Name. No Name has no idea. Oh, but he reveals his position on the shot. That's going to show No Name exactly where it is, and so now it's going to be the peak game. But Bastati doesn't have too much room to go. He's doing nice little peeks, 1 shot at a time. A little bit of damage there, but it's not going to be enough just yet. Going to pop a Molotov out to see if he can get the long-range flop, but it's not going to be too much just yet. Bastati, they're going to bump back and forth. The Bastati gets the headshot on a No Name. The match ends and a solo player walks away with the chicken dinner.
Really nice play there. He got 1 total kill, and it was the one that counted as Bastati lands that clutch headshot onto No Name and steals that round win. However, I think with the amount of kills that the number 2 place team has accrued, that they should be able to overtake him in total points. But the story there is actually Method going out so early in the match. An unfortunate turn of events for them, but it's the Aarhus Penguins of Bastati and Firestealth. Obviously, Firestealth not making it into the lobby this time around. But that was a nice turnaround. I thought after that headshot and the bandages, utility got him that space to move and locked it down.
Takes 1 bullet.
That's all it takes.
It takes 1 bullet right through the dome, the brain power piece themselves, and Bastati will walk away with the victory. I am most excited after we come back to actually talk about how these point standings have really decided to mix things up. You talked about it just now. Method finding themselves an early exit, as well as Nanotech and Crook, the team that found themselves in second. They found themselves in a top 15 finish. So it's something we're going to have to continuously keep up on as we do that. But before we kick ourselves to a little bit of a break, don't forget Twitch Prime is bringing you the delightful goodness that is Broadcaster Royale, and the Spa Day crates are up and available for you. Yes, you at home. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Twitch Prime have linked up for the Spa Day crate included with Twitch Prime this month. As you can see, the delightful male and female models. You've got a travel pillow, towels aplenty, as well as some delightful robes. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we'll catch up with the point standings, catch up with the kills, as well as head over back to Santa. Welcome back, everybody. You're not done with us just yet. We've still got one more map before you get a much more beautiful face of Matrim and Lucy May on the desk. So you still
what are you trying to say?
They're two beautiful people.
Okay.
You're beautiful too, but they're very beautiful.
Okay.
It's all right. Hi guys, I'm Jump. This is Moses. We've been casting since 4 a.m.
Yep.
We just concluded map number 2. We went to Miramar, and now the European bracket has been exploded in a variety of ways. Method, our game 1 winner, got knocked out very early, finishing 26th in that second map. In just a second, we'll get the kill standings as well as the point standings up for you while players are getting themselves loaded into lobby. Back to Sanok for map number 3. But before we get to that, any comments about that map number 2?
Miramar is an interesting experience. You have to play it a completely different way than you play Erangel and Sandhawk. So it's a matter of how do you bounce back from a tough game if you're Method? I mean, that was a nice first victory, picked up a lot of kills, but they arrived super late to the second zone in Miramar, and they got held out and killed. That was something that we talked about right through the beginning of that game. And for the rest, we saw Bastati, a solo player, all by himself, pick up 1 total kill, but steals himself a victory. And that's kind of how Miramar works. Sometimes it doesn't really matter how it shakes out through the mid-game. The end game can get very hectic, especially on the edge of the zone, and we saw just that.
Well, that was kind of similar to the next question that I was going to ask you, of seeing the results and the fluctuation of finishes between map 1 and 2, despite the fact that it was 2 completely separate maps. Do you think that those finishes were more relative of the even skill set that you have of this specific lobby, or do you think that it's just the nature of the volatility of the players themselves?
Okay, just a quick follow-up. If you could make that question just a little bit longer next time, so I
wanted
can
to
follow
make it
along.
as long as possible.
I was going to start taking notes halfway through. No, seriously, the skill level in the lobby is definitely higher than what we've probably seen so far, and that's due to the prevalence of the pro players that are in there. But just because they're pro players doesn't mean they don't have to play with the same variables as everybody else. They have circle issues, they have rotational issues they have to deal with. Just because they're experienced, just because they have that good duo partner, and maybe some of these guys aren't pros, doesn't mean they can't get screwed by the circle or just not hit that rotation at the right time.
The delightful chaos that is Battle Royale definitely is something that you have to keep yourself in consideration of. Now, don't forget, not only are we streaming here on Twitch TV, but a lot of the broadcasters, a lot of the players are broadcasting themselves. So make sure if you see something you like, see something you enjoy. I know we've had a couple vehicle self-kills in a lot of sad ways. Feels bad, man. Make sure you get yourself a Twitch clip of that. Go over to Twitter. Use the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. We looked it up during the break. We had somebody else use the hashtag and give us a little something of another dog. We saw a dog with a pair of headphones. I wasn't sure where that was going there. Yeah, I had people yelling at me, so I figured I'd yell at you.
It was a dog.
I was confused, so I figured I'd make you confused.
We've seen pugs. We've seen a couple other doggos.
We have.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. @jump_, @WTF Moses. And Twitch Prime gives you a free subscription. This guy streams.
Yep.
Just gonna let that breathe for a second. We're just gonna let that breathe.
Perfect. Terrific. I mean, the Twitch Prime crates have been a huge boost to everybody. I mean, we've seen it in other games. We've seen it here in PUBG as well. I love the Prime crates. Just easy, nice looking loot.
Look at that transition. It's your last game of the weekend.
I'm not even getting cues. I'm just talking.
That was beautiful. Oh, man, I'm so proud of you. Spawn 8 crates are available through PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, courtesy of PUBG and Twitch Prime. If you do not have Twitch Prime, if you have an Amazon Prime account, or if you, your friend, your mom, your grandmother, your aunt, or your long-lost cousin has Amazon Prime, you can link that to your Twitch account, securing you Twitch Prime, which gives you the Spot 8 crate for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, lots of other monthly loot via Twitch, as well as a free subscription every 30 days to your favorite Twitch subscriber, or your Twitch streamer. I don't think you would subscribe to your least favorite Twitch streamer.
I imagine you would probably want to pick only the favorites, but always a big boost.
I mean,
small and large streamers.
There are some people, I don't like you. Here's a subscription.
Doesn't happen to me a lot.
No?
If that's you, just if you don't like me, give me your money.
One or the other. You know, you have to do something. We don't forget, guys.
Willing
in
to
just
make
a second,
that trade.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at the points in just a second once we get those sorted and figured out for how the points are shaking up today, as well as the kills. Remember, map number 2 was quite the crazy one. And now, as we look forward to map number 3 in Sanhok, you saw how map number 1 played out. We know that the map 1 is usually that feeler map, like what you were talking about earlier. What are we going to see as a change, you think, from these players coming into this second rendition out of Sanhok?
Well, now it's a matter of how used to the competition are these players. They've started to see who the good ones are, who the bad ones are. Objectively bad, I should say. But for the most part, Sanhok is a fast-paced map. Who can keep up? Who can keep the pressure going?
Going to see any armored UAZs pop out on this one?
Maybe. I mean, vehicles in Sanhok play a much lesser role, and you don't need to use them that often. And really, considering the competition in pro-level play, the vehicles are used primarily in rotation and for cover, but they're also the most vulnerable state you're going to find yourself in because you can get caught and killed very easily. So in this match, I imagine we won't see as many vehicles used as we have in, say, the Asian-Pacific region or on a map like Miramar or Erangel.
Well, we are getting through a couple little technical difficulties, guys, so bear with us for just a second. The players are actually getting loaded into lobby, so those little difficulties will be eliminated short as sweet. Well, we are in the European region as well. PGI is just around the corner. Any of the European teams that you're most excited to see, show up, Team Liquid or any of the others that you're looking to, show up in Berlin?
Well, Team Liquid has a lot of pressure on them right now. I think that they are in a position where they have had a lot of expectations since they reformed the roster now some months back. So with James, Ibiza, Skoom, all these players coming together, excuse me, Samty as well. Don't want to forget beautiful Samty. And they have a lot of pressure riding on them. They have now qualified in first place. So they are like the European golden boys coming into PGI. And now's the time for them to potentially displace FaZe, who did not qualify for Berlin, as the undisputed best team in Europe. And that's remains to be seen. PGI is going to be a very diverse event, showcasing people from all over the world in all game modes. On Miramar and Erangel, Sanhok didn't make the cut this time around, but that is going to be bragging rights. It's the first major tournament, and now's the time to shine.
Well, we have plenty of individuals that, while they might not be making it to the PGI, are still going to get to play for your viewing pleasure. Map number 3 is about to get underway. We are headed back to Sanhok, and the ding, ding, dings of the bells have begun. Let the fights ensue. We're getting a nice little fly through of Paradise Valley, as well as the beautiful foliage and the forestry that covers the delightful island of Sanhok.
So we've seen this map throughout the last couple of days. Definitely a different pace, and the pace is always high. So we'll see now if Method can bounce back from game number 2's tough result, and if Bastati, now hopefully with a teammate, can make another run at the title. But for now, we're going to get a nice, easy plane path, and really Sanhok is small enough that you can get pretty much anywhere on the island you like.
As we can see, it's going to be a north to southeast, more appropriately, map that we have here, as the plane is slowly gliding its way over the island of Sanhok, and this is where we're going to get to see where these players are going to decide to fall and drop to. Remember, we had game 1, Sanhok Method walking away with that victory, and as you mentioned, Moses, they are going to have a bit of a redemption moment for them as they found themselves quite the early exit in the last game on Miramar.
So Method, we saw them jump closer to the western side of the edge of the map last time we saw them on here, so we'll see if they repeat that. No real need to duplicate loot strats over and over again like we see in other competitive modes, but looks like Method is going to head back west, going to Camp Bravo.
Camp Bravo they go. We've got some long shots. SLSG is going to find themselves on that northeastern side. They're not going to fall all the way to Camp Alpha, I don't think. As we see Nemzi and Rixik, some players that we have watched quite frequently. They're going to find themselves up to Hatin over on that northern side, and everybody else is just going to blast themselves.
Look at that
but
cluster
take
of
a
players
look
going
at Boot
south.
Camp.
Yeah, and the same thing, Boot Camp, heavy fire, the southern portion of the map, also a large cluster there. So it looks like it's going to be a battle for Boot Camp. Not throwing caution to the wind, essentially, at this stage. Frost Viper and Cow by himself. Really interested in Boot Camp in that southern portion of the play zone. Lots of people headed down that way.
Yeah, you can also see the Method guys found themselves, as you said, They are on the northeastern side of the map. You've got a couple teams over here in Cow as well. Remember, 40 teams enter the open qualifiers each week, and only 20 of them will progress to the regional finals, and then only 10 after that will find themselves at the Broadcaster Royale finals at that delightful TBD location that we love to take a look at. The first circle has appeared, and it will be on the southwestern side, so a little bit different than what we have seen earlier today on Sanok for Europe.
Maybe it'll be in the Staples Center. Maybe that's where they'll put it.
Staples Center?
Yeah.
Yeah, just cover it in the Broadcaster Royale finals in the Staples Center. 20. You're not having the full 40 teams like what you're used to seeing. It's just 20 teams.
Oh. Hello?
You have a Windows update.
Now's the time.
Now's the time for a Windows update.
So this circle is going to most likely be focused around that bottom quarter, or sorry, bottom third of the island. And looks like for that large cluster that headed that way, they're already beginning to trade. Forza losing a player already. G-Power having to back away. He's going to be headed across the bridge right into the welcoming arms of Team 41 and Team 1. So we'll see if Forza, again, has a tough start to this match. But it looks like Frost Viper is holding this angle. He's sharing Cow with another team. Really interested to see what happens with Boot Camp, as yes, it is Forza being eliminated first here, going out in 40th place.
By the Vector Man.
By the Vector Man.
Now, don't forget, if those of you that are watching at the end of the APAC region, we gave away some codes courtesy of my delightful co-caster Moses, and I believe we have some more at the end of this match.
Yes, the private stash overflowing. I'm been blessed with some extra codes to give away. They will be read out live on stream at the end of the broadcast. Unfortunately, due to some miscommunication with our control room, the last one was cut off, so I will be making up for it with 2 additional codes at the end of the match, so stick around, and we'll be reading those out for you. That's the only fair way I can think to do it, so keep those fingers ready, and you can redeem them in-game.
Meanwhile, Seabay is going to be able to pick up the kill onto Bubber the One. Stunky onto Poleman. Seabay finishing the kill onto Bummer. Firestealth has been loading bullets into this tree, trying to see if he can get him a kill, but Bastati as well trying to get themselves off. Takes down Turbo Banani, trying to find himself.
Taking down Turbo Banani.
Bastati, Turbo Banani. I'm trying to be more elegant. As Stunky picks up a...
You're trying to be more what? You say elegant?
Yeah, elegant. Man, we've been up. Look, we got here at 2:30 this morning. I'm ready for a nap.
I got here at 3, and I know how to say eloquent.
I'm ready for a nap. I've drank more Red Bulls in the last 48 hours than I think I want to drink in a month.
That sounds unhealthy.
It's very unhealthy.
Tornado Energy battle. Trying to make their way. It looks like Kiwish the Murloc. I'm not sure if he managed to find that crate that's down behind him or if that was his teammate. Regardless.
I feel like that's his... I feel like when he created his PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds account, he might have been in the middle of a D&D match.
Yep.
What do you want to choose for your username? I'm gonna be Kiwish the Murloc.
A+ Murloc impression. Special K1. Wavy got themselves a kill. Headed towards Team 13. Looks like they want to push this fight. Car 98 at the ready. Oh, there he is. Takes a shot. Did see the muzzle flash, or did he?
I don't think he did.
It now.
Oh,
We can see it.
now he sees it. Maybe Wavy's going to take a little bit of extra damage as well. He's going to get himself healed up just a little bit. 70 players still left alive. Noth actually picks up that down on Special K1 with a boom headshot. As now maybe Wavy's going to have to try to find a way to help himself out. Seabay, in the meanwhile, takes down the final kill on an Abe Bacon. Oh, there's a spray happening, but he's going to whiff it worse than my jokes today. That's going to be a full team kill. Team 23 is going to take themselves out at the delightful 36th place.
So we have the first phase transitioning about a minute before it completes. 1 minute and a half. Now, I believe we're going to be staying on that lower third. And I think the pressure will begin to mount around that river region. We'll see how much the rivers play, I should say, in this first transition. Now's the time to get across. You can see most players have already made their way down, but again, a lot of water in play. We'll see how the circle shifts. That'll dictate the rest of this game as we see here the Calvin Klein duo on the Ski-Doo.
I like it. They're filming their next music video in all Calvin Klein with the jet ski. Bullets flying around, an explosion potentially going to happen. Meanwhile, No Name takes down Killer Street on the other side of the map. 65 players left alive. 30 seconds until phase 1 gets finished. Clemmy G is going to get a little bit of damage, then he's going to end up getting down by Stunky. Nemo Effect tries to see if he can loop himself around, but he has no idea where he's going to be at this point in time.
Nemo Effect standing perfectly still, defensively frozen. Kick is just standing in the open, getting punished. Oh, Mimo! There we go. Stunky is down. So now he might want to go for the res here, but no, he wants more. His teammate's going to die right next to him if he's not careful. Clemmy bleeding out slowly. Will Mimo do the right thing? Press F on your teammate. Mimo, do it! He's going to die. Oh, my God.
I could feel the heart attack that Mimo was about to have at that point in time. You could see the vigorous movements of his mouse.
Yeah.
He was definitely at a high adrenaline moment at that point in time.
No doubt. And he almost let his teammate die. But now, Schnark getting that long-range spray down. Regal getting taken down first, but now he's going to get finished as his teammate is also low health, trying to spray, but will get taken down by Schnark. Easy pickings.
60 players left alive, phase 2. There is our updated point standings. Andala's at 386, Team Till Valhalla, Team of Domination. So we are having a complete run around.
Yeah.
Method still is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th place will be Method Award at 9 points. So definitely a crazy one at this point in time.
So it looks like Bastati and now Fire Stealth is going to have to play the role of clutch player as Rules and his teammate are just pressing as much as they can. Really trying to hit that spray with the M4. Down under 60 players alive. Fire Stealth trying to defend. Bastati has been rezzed. Rules and his teammate maybe arriving just a little bit too late, but the nades start landing. Bastati on the wide flank, and Fire Stealth does land a spray, not getting a down, but the nade follow-up comes. We'll see if these two can keep it together. Bastati down once again. The nade landing, he does get a down himself now, a 1v1, and he will clutch it and take him down as Bastati will be rezzed once more. Perhaps a smoke grenade would be a good idea. Oh no!
Evos comes away with the little snipe pickup there. The trash man collects his dues as Bastati ends up falling. Fire Stealth, though, still alive for his team. He's going to be able to loot his fallen teammate as well as the 2 players that he just took down. As now we are seeing ourselves with phase number 2, the circle on that southwestern side. The entirety of that southwestern section is inside the circle.
Method playing quiet this game. Nothing coming out from them just yet, at least not that I've noticed.
They're inside the circle, though.
Yeah, they're coming in. They're riding the zone in very slowly. Maybe being a little bit gun-shy as to how poorly that second game went. But they don't have a lot of enemies around them. So for Method, just have to play it slow and steady. And there's Raptors team as well.
Are you making that reference because you like turtles?
What's that?
Slow and steady?
No.
No?
That was not the connection I made at all. It was a stretch.
You're supposed to...
I was going to give it to you, but it's so out of left field. I don't even know what to say to you.
It's not out of left field. It's out of a turtle shell.
Anyways, Bushy, outrunning the blue, but not outrunning Frost Viper's bullets. He lands a couple and will actually get down by somebody else. His teammate, No Name, grabs him. Schizo Boy not going to be able to do anything to help his down compadre.
Frost Viper and No Name definitely found themselves in a very advantageous position in map number 2. Looking to continue that trend here in map number 3 as they find themselves in a good spot. Outlaws is just going to take 3 shots to the face as he finds himself at just below 50% HP. Has 1 first aid kit left remaining as well as a single energy drink. No, that's not an energy drink. I'm an idiot. That's painkillers. You're going to let me have it too.
No,
I appreciate it.
I was just letting you go.
Yeah. I saw it, I realized it, and it just happened.
Oh, X-Team's got a flank, ready to go. He's not been spotted. He's right on top of him. The snake jumps up and bites him. And here comes the number 2, but he will not get both players. But his teammate will come to his aid. And that just like that, Noth and Pidgeot have been eliminated.
Yep, that's about as close as you can get.
Tornado energy battle. Gonna stay alive as 2.
Archie and Siempre, 2 players that have found themselves in the top 10 both times thus far in this match. 0 kills right now, 53 left alive. They're gonna find themselves into the circle. Phase number 3, we can pull up the mini-map and see where we're gonna have to rotate ourselves to now. Is it going to be further southwest? That's going to be a lot of team rotations.
Yeah, and really the water playing a big factor here. The coastline is already filled with players. So we talked about it, and we'll talk about it again. Map pressure going to be mounting on the western side. Method finding themselves a little bit late once again. You can see Raptors team ahead of them. They've got Reese and his squad just to the south. And Tripoli, so they not only have a long path to circle on foot, but they also have a tough amount of teams ahead of them to deal with. So maybe Method, taking a little bit too much time here as the circle continues to shift away from them.
Undercover Pie found himself an early exit in maps 1 and 2, picks up a kill onto Freaky there, securing himself that nice little headshot. As now we're taking a look here, back at No Name and Frost Viper. Remember, 50 players left alive, Archie and Simpre as well. They're got multiple members near them, Raptor to Raptor as well as 100 IQ. You don't see him. He's turning the opposite direction. They're running down the hill towards that western side. They want to just get the heck out of Dodge at this point in time.
2 teams very close together. Raptors team there. Znark actually getting down by a grenade. Now No Name following up with another grenade. Lands very close to where he was, and he will land true. That is Znark and Undercover Pie being taken down by the duo Frost Viper and No Name. Iron Mean pressing. A little bit slow, but he does get the upper hand as Mouse and Hammelbob get taken down. Hammelbob. So many good names out here.
Oh, they're fantastic. 46 players left alive, 26 teams as we come up on the 14-minute mark here for Sanhok. About 1:10 left in phase number 3.
It's the Murloc. I was waiting for the Murloc noise.
I want him to win now, because now I have the perfect exit thing. It looks like Kirk's going to get a lot of damage taken.
Gotta stop.
Yeah, you don't want that blowing up in your face, because you will be a very dead puppy.
Oh, here we go. The flank comes out. Reese gets 1. The transfer 2.
Beautiful turn there as Reese's able to get it. In the meanwhile, his teammate Diggers be able to get the kill. He does have one stim and 1 first aid left available, so he's going to have to run.
Yeah, they can't stop the loot.
Nope. No
Actually,
time.
I might have in that case. I mean, the circle's not doing that much
You're
damage.
assuming that they're going to have some sort of meds and stims on them.
Yeah, they might have had time there, but opted just to make the zone. And now we've been talking about Method and Raptors team. It looks like 100 IQ Gubja has, I don't know how to say that name.
Just 100 IQ.
Yeah, 100 IQ. So now Method under fire. It is going to be Raptor. These teams have a history, does Andy and Raptor to Raptor. I believe Raptor used to play on Method, if I'm recalling. I might be wrong, but regardless.
Twitch chat, fact check.
Yeah, fact check me on that one. But these guys know each other. Raptor has the high ground. Andy and Chris down below. And we'll see what happens here as Andy trying to flank away from his teammate, Chris holding the backside.
Fire stealth ends up going down.
Ooh.
To Wick there. Raptor to Raptor. They don't want to have to deal with it. Phase number 4, we can actually take a look now at the map again and see where our next zone is actually moved to. It's going to be more centralized, so the water's gone now.
Yes.
But as a result, you're still going to have plenty of players that are rotating themselves up. A couple little compounds here and there for players to kind of hide and get themselves a little camping in. As the Method guys find themselves very far outside the circle, they're going to have to creep in because 2 teams, which might end up finding each other, 28 as well as 2 Archie, Siempre, Raptor to Raptor, and 100 IQ might find themselves a little bit of thought. You see just that. Archie takes down Raptor the Raptor. He gets finished off by his teammate,
very
Siempre.
Quickly. 100 IQ's got to back away. So Raptor disengaged from Method, and they decided to just get away and try and get to the zone. So that now has led to Raptor going down and out. 100 IQ is now going to have to try and make this on his own. Meanwhile, Method's still trying to figure out how they want to get in here. They have a pair of players right next to them. It's actually the Murloc, and they have Method right next to them. Andy's flanking on the low side. They're aware of each other. X-Chris on the high side flank, trying to get something going here. If we could stick with Method just for a minute here, I want to see how that turns out for them, because this is something that might turn against them.
Yeah, they've got themselves in a really rough position.
Yeah, but the zone is there as well. So now it's
Very
a
true.
matter of who can get the upper hand. Looks like Andy is going to get the initial down. And now it's up to the Murloc. See if he's going to be able to do anything. And it looks like they have him zoned entirely now. Coming over to Beast. He being engaged with No Name and Viper, who have been active through this early game.
Chris gets that final kill on his fencer. We're taking a look at Beast and Wicknear from T-Spirit. Oh, Frost Viper on that, picking that up. Calvin Klein gets down by Karn as well. And so now people, with this Phase 4 being inactive and these teams having to get themselves closed on this white circle, that means that everyone that's alive is going to start having to dwindle down. 36 left, 22 teams. Wick throws out a grenade to try to see if he can make something happen. 45 seconds, and people are going to have to start moving.
Murloc got stuck in the blue, so that fight wound up with him just basically going full passive. Method has skirted them into the zone. No Name finishing off Beast. Now it's up to Wick. And Frost Viper will take him down. So that's another couple of kills from them. Method now trying to cruise into the zone. They have a team in front of them. Zazo looking right at them. At least they're direct. I would say that direction. He's prone there. You
yeah,
can
but
see on
now
your screen.
they're headed towards this direction, which is a little bit more towards where Sampre and Archie at. They're actually getting shot at, believe it or not. So we're going to have to be careful. Oh, no! Chris turns around. He gets gunned out. The Vector man comes out from behind the tree.
Oh, my God.
That's going to be the full kill onto Chris. Zazo goes down by Andy, but now Method is all alone. Zazo's going to get him as Zazo was trying to loot down Chris's body. So Andy is still alive.
Classic Vector guy.
Oh, yeah.
Classic
Comes out
Vector
of nowhere.
guy. He's prone with the Vector. Goes for the finish without looking for the teammate, and then immediately goes to loot without looking for the teammate.
Vector
that is
agreed.
the preeminent Vector guy.
Oh.
So now Andy has to play by himself.
No Name picks up that kill. No Name and Viper have done a great job at keeping themselves consistency in this top 15, or in top 15 scenarios. We are at 18 teams left just now, so a couple more, and they'll be keeping that consistency tried and true. Barak trying to do a little bit of a peek job.
The angle. Oh, took a little too long.
QBU's going to knock him out. No Name in the meanwhile is going to take down Kruterhumpfen.
There you go.
Yeah, we're getting better at it.
Kruterhumpfen.
Kruterhumpfen. What do you think a Kruterhumpfen is?
I have no idea.
Andy dies
perhaps
to
some sort of
the
pastry.
Murloc!
So unfortunately for Andy, the Murloc comes from the blue, as they will do, and takes Andy, and actually picks up two more as he gets a team wipe. The Murloc strikes again, but he's just going to die to the zone. He has no... Oh, he's only got bandages. Murloc, you've mismanaged. You're dead.
Oh,
You're dead.
No. To death.
The sad Murloc.
Yes, but he takes down Method and drops them further down. 14 teams left remaining as the action has not stopped. We can take a look now at phase number 5, and we can pull up the minimap real quick just to give everybody a little bit of update of where it's going to move to. Marco gets a little bit of a trade. As you can see, people are going to have to come
moving
in
right
and
along.
out a little bit more. Compounds are still active. That broken wall trying to do a little bit of the damage, and we can get right back to the action. Barak gets that kill onto Titus, and we have kills coming all across the mark. MJ, the whole squad goes down. 10 teams left remaining.
Just like that, we're down to 10 teams, 16 alive, as the play zone claims yet another victim. And it is going to shift on to the compound. So now it's going to be a press on Mimo effect. We've seen this in the past, but now these
Horseman and Nas are so close to each other. They have no idea. They're playing the snake game. They don't want to have to worry about anything. You can see Laws and Ander now. They're going to try to get themselves safe, get themselves stemmed up as Archie takes himself off a couple shots. Barak, in the meanwhile, takes down Iron Mean on the down. Hasn't full killed him just yet. 5 seconds.
Mimo effect has a pretty nice hold there, and that's actually Outlaw and Iron Mean getting turned on by Marco Del Vecchio and his partner. So that's another team fully eliminated. Mimo effect getting shot in the back. Oh,
no.
The molly lands on him. He's on fire. Oh my God!
Stop, drop, and roll.
He's fine.
He's okay.
Just stab yourself in the arm with a needle, and you'll be fine.
Just give me my adrenaline, and I'll be good.
Archie.
It's going to be a 2v1. He's trying to have to get it. Laws was able to get a
Immediate
couple
med.
good shots on it.
Circle's closing.
Oh, yeah. Sampras, his teammate's able to help him out. He actually ends up finishing the kill. Laos is going to just get the heck out of Dodge, forget his teammate, and play for himself, as now 11 players only are left remaining. Archie tries to get a little bit of a spray onto Laws, but it's not going to be enough. Mimo Effect and Clemmy G, though, know that they're there. They are inside this little house. They're going to have to just sit and wait.
Here comes the nade, trying to get Mimo out of that building. No Name and Frost Viper have 10 kills. No Name is going off right now. Marco Del Vecchio has been taken down. Now it's Archie trying to displace Mimo Effect and his squad. holding on to this interior cover, and one goes down and two goes down. Clemmy and Mimo taken down very quickly by Archie. Frostviper picks up another kill.
And
now 12 kills.
2 members fall to the circle. Frostviper is able to pick himself up a kill as well. 6 members left alive. That's 4 teams. As it looks like it's going to be a 2v2, v1v1 is what it's looking like.
Looks like it.
Oh, no, sorry. I stand corrected.
I just agreed with you blindly without actually looking at the screen.
Little do you know. No, it's actually right. It's actually a 2v2, v1v1.
Great. I was right all along then.
You're right.
Lols gets the initial down at the headshot.
Another full body peek.
Another full wide peek.
You.
It'll happen.
It'll do it to you.
Don't know anyone's there. Expose yourself. Get downed. And now he's got to try and figure out what's going to happen with the res. He's playing as a solo player. Now Frostviper and No Name have the space they need to cross. That is a disaster for all these guys, hoping to try and get them out of here. But Frostviper will go down to Kamka, who's hiding in the building, and he will finish him off. No Name now, but look at Lols. He wants to press and find this. Nothing there for him. Archie still dealing with Tornado Energy battle inside this house. Another one claimed.
5 players left alive.
Bounces off the wall.
Nice
displaces some good
play.
play.
Oh, no, he's got it right by him.
That was a smoke grenade. All he wants to do is get him to move, and that exactly is the way it goes down. Now it's up to Lols against these a solo and the last 2 remaining players. It looks like Team 2 is ready to rock and roll. He just saw a move. He doesn't know if that's one of the duos, though.
Yeah, he's not. He's making sure not to reveal his position. He's waiting to see if he can possibly get them while they're skirmishing across. Lols knows where Archie and Sempre are. He heard the fight coming from the opposite building.
Doesn't know where No Name is.
Exactly. And so now it's just more of a patient game being played here by No Name.
He might be able to clutch this if he's careful.
Oh, Sempre jumped and tried to see him laying down, but still Lols gets
unfortunate.
it. Sempre's going to have to be a fight off of that. That's going to be the back and forth. And just like that, Sempre and Archie walk away with the victory. Lols doing what he did, doing what he could, but it's not going to result in a victory.
Nice play at the end there. They used the compound. They got the circle, but Lols tried to play it as best he could as well. But picking up 2 kills at the end. We saw Method go down early once again.
We did.
To the Murloc.
Oh,
the eyeballers.
The eyeballers did just that. Siempre and Archie walk away with a map 3 victory in Sanhok. Congratulations to you. And it seems, at least it seems to me, each map, these players are starting to get a little more aggressive, a little more confident in their play style, and they're starting to kind of predict where these rotations are starting to happen. And what we could saw the second half of Sanhok there, these players are ready to play.
It looked like it. I mean, really, Method started aggressive. They had a great first game, but they've immediately changed after that second game to now playing defensively. Now, I can't really critique them. I'm not sure what their overall strategy is. But the way they kind of went at Raptor's team didn't really push the fight. Raptor did retreat from them, but they got flanked at the outside of the circle. To be fair, you never expect the Murloc coming out of the blue to get you, but he did, and
he'll do it to you, man.
He'll get you. The Murlocs.
I will have to give a lot of credit to Frostviper and No Name as well.
Yeah, they had a great game.
This is the second top 3 finish, and they've had all 3 top 5 finishes. And so consistency, something that you tend to overlook in a lot of ways when you think about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and the BR genre as a whole. You think about the fraggers and you think about the ones that win. But in reality, when you think about that point acquisition, it really comes down to having that consistency and having those top finishes. But unfortunately, map 3 is done, which means that's going to do it for us. But before we kick it to a break, unfortunately, actually, no, fortunately, we've got some codes to give away courtesy of Moses. And so, sir, I will give you the floor, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
I'll give you a second. Get ready. All right, so get
your pens down.
Get the fingers ready. You can type this. You got to redeem it in-game. All right, so the first code is going to be P154.
Do you like that magic trick? It's amazing. I'm Bill. Just kidding. I'm Lucy May, and with me is Matchroom. We've actually relieved the boys, Moses and Jump. They did a fantastic job. Can we get some hypes in chat right now for their hard work during the twilight hours? They're going to go get some food and hang out. We're going to be giving you guys the rest of the action here on the rest of the broadcast here at Broadcaster Royale, because it's a Royale game, Battle Royale game.
I got to say, much respect to those guys. They were here at 2 a.m. our time. We're going through all the different regions coming into this. You know, they're relieved right now. They're like, oh, got to take a break. And I know,
2 days in a row.
Twitch chat's already like, oh, bring him back.
I know, sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. You're going to have to deal with us for a little while. We're going to finish out the last 2 rounds of EU, and then we're going to make a venture over into North America. I was watching beforehand, and I saw a lot of people are pretty hyped about North America moving into it. I got to say, I'm pretty hyped about the games coming through here. A lot of people are really coming to play in a competitive style today. Really just, I gotta say they're gunning for it. You can see that Method is playing inside of this. There's a lot of fan favorites that are going to be coming through. Really excited to see how this turns out. 2 more rounds to go.
Right. Well, what's so amazing about Broadcaster Royale is that this isn't your typical pro tournament structure. This allows you, the community, to be able to show us your skills, bring it to the table. Do you have what it takes to go head to head with the top players in the game? Streamers alike, pros alike, all competing under one umbrella, essentially, the Broadcaster Royale. And we are going to actually see then who will take it all away. In the end, who's it going to be? There's going to be a fantastic live event.
I know, and keep in mind as well, part of this is if you see somebody that just like makes an awesome play or just seems like they'd be fun to watch, remember, they are going to be broadcasting this, so go check them out. That's part of this. We want you to try to find some new people to watch on Twitch. Big part of it is kind of growing out communities, getting involved with some people maybe that you're not familiar with, letting some people that may not have the biggest fan base step up and really kind of show what they can do. So really excited to see how that plays out. So make sure you guys are tuning in and checking out anybody you think is cool.
Absolutely. And speaking of the action and how amazing and kill factors they've got going on, what do we have up to this point right now? Kill standings, top 10 teams in your faces. Game Ward Red
coming in with no name. I always say that one wrong. He always throws me off. And Frost Viper coming up with 22 kills so far. Strong performance coming out there. Team Till Valhalla. I love that name. Until Valhalla. Outlaw and Ironman coming through there. Method with X Chris and Method Andy coming in 3rd place right now. And Original Team of Domination. I gotta say, that's also a pretty strong name there.
Yeah, the OG
original team
right.
of Domination. And all right, so moving over to our solo kills, we've got No Name up at the top of it with 15 kills. Following it up with Outlaw, Method Andy coming in with 7. But look at all these guys with 7. We've got Anders coming in with side, back behind it, Frost Viper, and then following down, we move into the 6th. A lot of people at 6 and 5 as well.
Absolutely. And there's money to be had in these categories as well. Not just money in the actual overall tournament, but for whoever gets the most in individual kills and team kills. So definitely keep on fragging.
And remember, part of this is there's multiple avenues of getting into the big, huge final event. Naturally, we've got all the different regions as we've been bouncing through right now. There isn't an invitational part that we did yesterday. Now we're in the open part. There is also a wild card invite. So if some of your favorite streamers you don't see inside of the event yet, worry not. They might be showing up inside of some of the wild card invites that are going to be coming through this. So make sure stay tuned inside of this because we've got several weeks. It's going to be slowly evolving as we just whittle down to the absolute best streamers in PUBG.
Absolutely. We have 2 weeks of qualifiers, which then will lead us into the regionals. I think you guys are probably already versed on how this is going down and into the live finals. After 3, this man's over here. Do you need to come in here? Get your booty in here right now. Get your booty in here. I'm sorry. Yes.
Moses is hiding out on the outside
just
there.
Give everyone a little wave. Say farewell. So
you gotta
long.
say bye.
It's time to say
snuggle up
goodbye.
to me. You can
Everyone say bye, Moses.
Bye.
We'll miss you.
He's got to
and
go
Bill
catch
over
a
there.
flight there. So there you go. See, now you got your formal goodbye to everybody. So you got chat. You have to be happy now. Now you have to deal with us from here on out.
When they said, bring back Moses, we did. You're welcome.
See,
we brought him back.
Listen, that's the type of people we are.
Yeah.
So here we are with our point standings. And Laz is in 1st place with 584 points. But right back behind that is Game Ward Red. Look, that's... Well, I'm not going to do caster math real quick, but it's about 20 points. And then about 20 points back behind that is Team Till Valhalla. Then we got about another 25-point spread coming into Thinking. Thinking, that's a good name. I'm curious if it's based off of name.
I wonder what they were thinking.
A lot. I'm going to say, if you name yourself Thinking, you have to be thinking a lot, correct?
Got a lot on their minds, I guess. Well, if you're fans of Thinking, can you please fill us in the chat? We would love to know what they're thinking, what you're thinking.
And one thing to note, if there is anything cool that happens inside of any of these streams that you catch, or if you think that there's like a play that we need to make sure to monitor, be sure to use the hashtag Broadcaster Royale, so that way we can try to find any cool clips that you guys come across along the way. We'll try to showcase any of those that we see, maybe that we didn't catch, or things that you just think are awesome and could be our play of the day.
Definitely hit up Twitter, and you can tweet at individually, us, your friends, whoever, your mom. Use that hashtag Broadcaster Royale so we don't miss a single amazing clip off your favorite Twitch stream. We're going to hop right on into our 4th map.
And, well, we are headed back home. This is where everybody knows. This is like the comfort food of PUBG. Everybody knows every part of the map. We've got the missile silos. We've got the airport. We've got military base. We've got everything. This is the tried and true PUBG. So with a lot of these guys that have been streaming for long periods of time, you know that they know how to play this map and they have all of their different favorite parts they like to play. Plane path coming through, and I gotta say, this is one of the first kind of unfriendly plane paths that I've seen. Gonna make it hard for anybody that might want to do a stretch down towards military base, but everything else is pretty much on the table.
No one's going military, let's be honest. Maybe one team. Everyone's worried about that money on the line. It's rare that I see anybody dropping down to military.
It's so hard to get out there. If you
path.
go down to military base and it ends up being like a hard shift up near like Severny or something like that,
that's the risk.
You're in a world of trouble. You gotta try to find the cars. There's gonna be potential bridge camps along the way. And that's what's kind of fun about this, is since this is a mix-up of streamers, one, there's some bragging rights coming into it. So you know that they're gonna be trying to do like some cheeky stuff, trying to catch out like maybe some of their friends or people that they play against, really try to kill them. I know that there's already been a little bit of stuff going down on Twitter with a little bit of bragging and a little bit of back and forth going through.
Perfect.
That's what I love to see.
That's what we're here for. Bring it, baby. Bring it to the broadcast for Royale. We want to see it all.
I'm popping over here with Honey Badgers. So he's fairly known inside of the community. We got a lot of community people have been through inside of this for several years now. Or not several years, about a year now. We're just past a year inside of competitive PUBG, all things considered. So I got to say, where's your de facto place? Where do you love to drop, Lucy?
You know, hashtag Millie all day. I'm not going to lie. And it's funny, as I said before, not a lot of people do like to go to military. And so when competitive play, in my mind, obviously, if I'm not at any level of capacity of pro player, but for fun, you know, go down to military because no one's there. You most likely will be uncontested because people don't want to go there. But I can at least loot up 100% and just scoot on out. And yes, I will have to survive that.
It used to be really hot. That was like everybody would go there, school, and Pachinki. But now everybody's kind of like, the meta has evolved. And now people are like, nah, you guys go do that unless you're going to do the hot drops. And we did have, I believe it was Nanotech managed to get already 2 kills inside, or I think it was a down and a kill. You saw happening inside the kill feed. They've been very active inside the early game from these rounds that we've been seeing. Not necessarily afraid to take any early skirmishes, but you can see a lot of these guys still out and about, trying to gather a little bit of information, figure out who all is in the area around them. Because again, that is such an influential part of PUBG, is getting this information. We're over here with Pej. Looks like he managed to get it down onto Tillis. On the outside of this, looks like he might be trying to line up to go for another shot. And meanwhile, his teammate, Noth, is doing a hard push on the outside. Looks like they're trying to catch it before the res can come through, but that's going to be a push into a building, and that's a little risky, so they just might post up on the outside and force them. Now, the problem whenever you end up with one of these skirmishes is you get caught in these fights, so you have to keep constantly looking back and forth at each other, and it really slows down both duos looting. That's going to be the problem with it, because whenever you have a circle and you have to shift out, you may not have the tools to really push yourself through the mid and the late game unless you get kills to follow it up.
Yeah, why I noticed George Pole is a very popular drop spot. Why is that?
Well, there's just so many different areas that you can have to play around. It's just, there's plenty of space. You can almost have like 3 to 4 squads up there to kind of get plenty of loot for it. Trifelia's over here doing a push now. Looks like he's got a nice angle using the deflate, dropping down inside of it. Looks like he's in a 2v1 situation. Trifelia is known for some strong shooting. Teammate does manage to come up and provide some assistance on the outside of it. He's just trying to stay alive right now, ducking down. Meanwhile, the teammate is doing a hard push up, does get the double kill onto it. So that's going to be some free loot for them.
There you go. Why that's the meta. Just, you don't need to loot. Why loot? Just grab everyone else's stuff.
Yeah, just have them do the work for you. You don't need to do it yourself. Let them, like, be lazy. Just get yourself a rifle and wait and catch somebody as they're going through. And duos, that's actually a lot more effective than it sounds, because like in squads, everybody's all hunkered together. The big part of whenever you're watching duos is if you get it down, it's influential, because now the duo partner has to make this decision. Do I go for the res? Do I stay? Do I go for the fight? There's so much more pressure onto a duo-style environment whenever you get that first down. As you can see now, off in the distance, Pej has got dropped. He's up on top of that building there, so now his teammate has to figure out how he wants to play around this. He's holding an outside angle, so he either has to choose to run in or try to hold the outside and maybe try to get a kill off of it. It looks like he's going to go for a reposition in the res.
It looks like that's probably his best option. The other guys aren't really... Oh, well, we've got one. Kruder.
Push, yeah. They saw him, so they know the fact that he's going to be trying to go for this res, so they're going to try to cut him off. This is so smart if they do it. They heard the footsteps. Steps around. Nice shots coming out from Noth there. Just going to try to finish it off. Talus does get the down, and so that's going to be a duo eliminated there and an easy res coming back.
I'm taking notes. That's what I'm doing right now. Like, okay, how did that just happen?
That was so smart. They
Beautiful.
got the down. They know it had to go for a reposition. So then he rushes in on and cuts off the pathing, waits for him to come through the doorway. It was so good. And I got to say, 6'9", Horseman 6'9", that's about the most Xbox Livey name I have seen today. No offense, Horseman.
But it's missing X's.
It is missing the X's. You got to have the X's to go with it. No shade towards Horseman, but I mean, if you're running a name like that, you know.
Or he does know, I think. I mean, we're just going to go off of that name because that's a whole other subject matter involved with that name.
Over here with Raptor to the Raptor, we saw El Giganten players just a second ago. I think that's going to be kind of part of the game, is trying to spot the pro players and see how they perform in this, because naturally that's one of the cool things about an event like this. You've got the streamers, and there's always this narrative of who's better, the streamers or the pro players, and the pro players right now trying to build up their viewership a little bit. So we get this nice mix in this event where we're going to have pro players playing through one side, a lot of streamers playing through the other, and then slowly they're going to be forced to start playing against each other inside of the regional qualifiers and then into the final event. So that way we can really see how this all ends up. Could Shroud be one of the best players ever? Well, that's if Shroud's playing, you know? Like, that's always what Twitch chat's about.
Right.
Yeah, so now we got to see how it all kind of comes together. Are the streamers that everybody thinks are the best, or could it actually be the pro players?
But that's what's great, though, is there's a lot of players, period, even the popular ones that we know that play in the community, right, that aren't necessarily with an organization. They're streamers. They are really good at PUBG. They just don't pursue the pro aspect of it, you know. And so this gives them the opportunity, instead of living that org life, you know, with the teams, the scrims, they can just do what they want and then just decide, hey, I'm going to pull out all the stops during when I need to, because it's all on me and not anyone else.
And yeah, I mean, that's a big part of the streamer thing, is like, you know, embrace it, deal with the community, like deal with your communities, chit chat with them, goof off, have fun. And so sometimes you play a little bit more risky than you would. So I always love watching streamers play in a little bit more of a competitive environment instead of just doing like the hot drops all the time, really just trying to showcase their skills and their ability to survive, because that is a big part of PUBG. Speaking of that, we've got Rip that's holding an angle out here. He can hear the footsteps, trying to figure out where this approach is going to come from. We do have the X-ray cams on, so naturally we have the vision. He's still just trying to figure out, okay, how's this guy going to approach towards me?
Rip is playing the Lucy May strat. Sit in a corner, listen for those footsteps, and pick them off as they come through the doorway.
Oh, and here it comes. Peeks the wrong side, does do a beautiful flick over to the side, gets the down and the kill onto it. So that's going to be one kill and some loot coming out for them. And El Giganten digs. Or Deegs.
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 Yeah. Deegs. El
Giganten. Trust me, I had to learn that one. That one's a little bit hard to say. So El Giganten. Now we've got a little bit of a fight going out over here. Trying to hit some shots on a long-range car. It's driving through. Grenades crashing down all around Pullman. Meanwhile, we got Turbo making his drive, trying to meet up with his teammate so that way they can regroup and try to do it. Looks like it's a little bit of a retreat. They are aware of the position on this. They're doing a lot of bouncing back and forth. And yes, Turbo did manage to make landfall right back on the other side of those buildings. This is an interesting little spot to have a fight. You don't see too many skirmishes happen at this stage of the game around these buildings.
Maybe wavy. Well, he falls to his death.
Well, hey, it's almost like his little thing was waving as he was falling.
I had to call that out. That was just like maybe Wavy was waving his little icon there. We lost him.
Uh-oh, do we have a third-party team that's coming back behind this? You can see off in the distance, it's going to be Mim Effect bringing out the Molotovs, trying to get a little bit of zoning on this. Turbo Banani is trying to retreat back. Kuhn does get dropped in a little bit of a peek, so it's going to be a res that should be easily accomplished there. But Pullman doesn't look like they're going to play this aggressive. They're very comfortable in their high ground position of forcing the other team to come to them.
Yeah, once you're holding down a building, it's pretty safe to say, especially with these elevations that you've got. I mean, a single story might be a little bit more difficult to hold down, but with the second story, having that mobility and being able to just hold that down and play that waiting game, like you said.
But look, now they're doing the push. This is after the res has gone through. We saw one of the players didn't even have a helmet. Pullman steps around, just gets instantly dropped on this. He's just trying to retreat back. Kuhn takes a lot of damage as well, but now they have the numbers advantage on this, and you can see Mr. Korek is taking a lot of damage as well, trying to figure out how he's going to play this. Nice sweep around the outside, just sprays him down, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, that's the option you have to decide what you want to do there. Is do you want to just keep playing it safe, stay in your building, or you did down a man. It could be a time that you could actually push out and execute the final play.
Well, you could tell that they were taking a second to talk about it. They're like, do we push this? Do we go? They were up on top. It took a little bit too long. You know, whenever you think that res, whenever you're trying to get off, it feels like it's forever. But whenever you're one of those teams that are pushing, it just happens in a snap. You have to make sure you just execute real quick and do the push inside of it.
Yeah, but they might have hesitated because that one vehicle drove by, so maybe they didn't want to make themselves visible to anybody that could have seen them on the third party.
So over here with Snally and Fire Stealth, who've been some of our star performers so far today. Looks like they're caught up in a little bit of a fight on the outside, holding 2 different points. If you haven't noticed, a lot of our very strong pushing teams really like to do this disjointed flank, where one person holds an angle, another person holds one. Special K driving up next to the Method guys, holding up one of their locations they love to play around. That's dangerous to drive by that location. Got Game Wave caught up in a little bit of a head peek back and forth. Bastali taking the bad end of it though.
Yeah, those head peeks. You don't want to mess with those, to be honest. If I see someone just trying to head glitch over a shelf or a wall or anything.
Game Wave doing a hard push on the outside. Looks like he was trying to force him back. He knows that he got the damage, and he wants to make sure that he doesn't have a chance to get any meds off. This is kind of making it into these little individual 1v1s right now as Woody's on the outside, caught up in a fight with Fire Stealth. Now Nas, looks like he just managed on the outside wall, just trying to regroup just a little bit. You can see Fire Stealth's trying to do this peek on the outside. So now we have 2 people pushing into a duo that has managed to reconnect. It's going to make it a little bit harder for him.
Yikes, that door was wide open. He just said, hey, come shoot my booty.
Information gathering, stepping out, a nice push coming out the outside of that, making sure to use the building. It's great awareness, just steps out, gets the down onto 1. Fire Stealth's now going to peek around this corner. There's a lot of risk. It's going to be about the fact if he can make this push on the outside of it. Shots do come out, and that's going to force him to retreat a little bit. Can't shoot out of that window because of the way that's set up, though. So Fire Stealth's just going to do full retreat, see if he can get any vision. It's a lot of hopping back and forth. That's a risky play to come out from Fire Stealth. He really wants this, but the push is coming around the outside, goes for the drop shot, and gets taken down.
Oh, that was rough. He just decided to go in from the outside with the disadvantage of not knowing exactly where they were or even knowing where each of the duo squad was. It just said, hey, I see your head. I'm going to try to shoot at it. He got by his other player.
And that's the risk in going with those 2-point flanks. When one of your members goes down, now you have to try to figure out how you're going to regroup. And again, that pressure that happens whenever you're dealing with duos. Coming over here with Trifelli, throwing a couple of shots back and forth with Znark. These guys have they've kind of fought a couple of times, I would say, for the past year or so.
Yeah.
So way off in the distance, you can see they're just taking some pot shots around the Badland area. We do have the map up. A lot of people already inside the circle, as it looks like it's going to be centralized around Rajak School in that general vicinity. Most of these teams look like they should fairly easily make their way inside of the safe zone. No real people holding edge locations as of yet. But with this, there's a lot of buildings that are going to be in place. So a lot of these duos can find little homes, different places that they can hide out in. You have a couple of teams that are way out on that southeastern area, caught up in a little bit of a skirmish that might make it a little hard to disengage from to make it into safety.
There were still about 4 or 5 teams out in the blue trying to drive on in. They were just probably madly hunting for a vehicle. The blue is here. Get us in a car right now so we can make it into safety. And a team did end up going to military.
Oh, and here we go. We've got somebody just driving right by Trafelli. Spray goes a little bit wide. You can tell he wasn't necessarily positioning for that. He was going for some more shots over it. But now he's waiting for the second one. Motorcycle's just trying to cut through the Badlands. I love motorcycles through the Badlands. Get the air. You can make so many nice moves down through here, and they managed to just breeze on through. Doesn't even look like they took any damage.
I'm not a real fan of this area right here because there is plenty of defilade. However, you can also, there's so many angles otherwise for everyone else to see you. Well, someone's going to find you, and there's still 60 people alive.
You can find that strong shooters really prefer to play around terrain pieces. The reason why is you can kind of like peek around. You can use all 360 degrees around you as long as you play the cover properly.
Absolutely, but this section, for some reason, it doesn't feel very secure. You have, it might seem like it when you get there, but I feel like I've run into more of a scenario where I've witnessed you just crumble easier here in this particular terrain right here.
You can have a lot of people just kind of run up on you is the inherent problem that we see more often than not. Like there's all these little rocks and stuff like that. Let's be honest, at this stage of the game, these guys are caught in a fight in this spot. And it's more than likely, like with Trafelli, he's playing this outer ridge that's just right next to those building complexes. A lot of people like to play around here. We do have some supply crates coming down in the distance there, so we might have some toys coming for a duo. But I say Trafelli and Zark, they're just caught up on this. They still have plenty of resources to work around, but like this, just make sure to take out the tires. Deny anything.
Do not let them leave. They are not going anywhere unless they're except to their graves.
You can tell it looks like Znark got caught off guard, was sprayed down a little bit, so was forced to take cover in this position. So he's not necessarily in the happiest of places at the direct time. But Trifelli and his duo partner don't necessarily want to commit at this point. Just take some pot shots here and there, just trying to control the region around them. Meanwhile, way off in the distance, you can see Undercover Pie just kind of cutting through.
He's like teasing a little bit. Guess what? I'm on a motorcycle. Try to shoot me. How many people in chat right now have crashed a motorcycle to your deaths? Let us know.
I think it's everybody. Like, there was the period of time where there was the 3-seater that was just a death trap. Anytime you got onto it, you'd start driving and be like, hey, you hit a pebble, flip into outer space and explode. So,
I think I do have a clip of that, doing that. The vehicles used to do some wild things at one point, for sure. We got a supply drop. Let's go.
And a little bit of everything you could possibly want there. You got the AWM, got some 5.56 inside of it as well. Got a silencer. Pretty much setting him up. And you can see that Zark's just trying to chill here. Remember, Undercover Pie is who we saw casting around the outside. So he finally come over here, providing a little bit of cover for his teammate. He's in a high ground position back down to the south. So maybe give him a chance to disengage from this. He can kind of watch those windows, force Traffelli to go, no, don't push over that way. And you can see he's also kind of dictating, making sure that there's no third party. The problem with it is they're going so loud. They're taking so many shots right now. This fight has been going on for so long. A lot of these teams around this are starting to kind of go, hey, what's going over? You can see down in the mini-map, there's a duo that's looking right at him going, hey, what's kind of happening over here?
I hear some shots over there. They're also just wasting their ammo. So they've got to pay attention to that. Because they were getting pretty low there, and you kind of need bullets to kill people, you know?
Well, maybe. I mean, you might be able to just pan him to death. Do the fist fight. Always use a car. And finally, we do see Zark. He does go down. Tried to make the run over there.
Red dot scope sights.
That's the thing. Whenever you're dealing with a lot of these like pro players or these streamers that have been playing on a very competitive level, they don't care.
Thing.
They don't care. Red dot, 500 meters, cool, whatever. We can hit the shots. They know the ranges on it, and it's scary. Like, it makes it feel like everywhere is dangerous to walk through. So that's why a lot of these teams, you can see, very much sticking into a very mobile fashion. They're driving around everywhere, trying to make sure that it's more difficult to hit naturally a motorcycle that's just hauling by you and spray through. As I say that, looks like a little bit of damage coming through, and Simpri doesn't manage to get all the way on it.
Could have, potentially.
Undercover Pie, though, managed to get himself a down and a kill, so getting a little bit of vengeance for his teammate. Not onto the duo that we were just seeing them fight against, but looks like everybody's starting to make their way into the safe zone now. Undercover Pie kind of by himself now, because remember we did see Zark just go down, trying to make sure that he can push up and through this area. Looks like he wants to try to make it over this loop, but it's a little risky on this hillside. You can tell that he's nervous that somebody might be able to see him, take some pot shots at him from range, because there are a lot of interesting little terrain points that can be played around here that he has to assume somebody's in, because we still have 53 people alive
right now. There's a lot. This is, yes. We've still got that one team trying to make their way out of Georgia.
Oh, that's always the downside to it. Whenever you're kind of caught way off in the distance, you go off in these like far reaches, don't find yourself a vehicle, and then you just have to run slowly and steadily inside the circle. It's just real rough at this point. Yeah, one of the things I'm surprised, right, is we've got Method. They have 0 kills. They tend to be very explosive in the early game. They really like to play these points from the map where they can just kind of cut off people, get some easy kills as people are driving by. Now they're playing a little bit more like relaxed. You can see that they're caught up in a little bit of a long-range skirmish coming through there. And we got Reese taking some pot shots at the UAZ off in the distance, trying to light it up, get as much damage on Nakuna as he can. Looks like Turbo Banani already going to be able to cut out through there. That's kind of a little bit of a risk into coming into this zone. I believe that's the armored UAZ. Can't quite tell from this distance.
I can't either.
It's got the plating around the outside of it.
It usually is.
Oh, but he's going to run right into Traffelli. They thought he had safety, and instead just gets taken down. So Traffelli really doing a good job playing this terrain piece. Like, you can see, you can catch a lot of people in transitions around it. It's a little dangerous, though. And nope, looks like it's just a regular UAZ. Got the buggies cutting through. This is that transition phase where everybody is just being forced to kind of collapse in near each other, trying to find somewhere where they can kind of feel safe. But right now, with 51 people alive, every little terrain point seems like it's got somebody in the path. So many people are kind of playing along the edge at the direct time. It's making it to where this, like, if we could bring up the map for just a second, you can see around the school is just littered with duos. Look, it's like everybody in every single one of those apartment buildings over there.
1, 2, pretty much a team in every building, except for the middle one.
Explosion off in the distance as Tau Zero's got some grenades going off. Method Andy all by himself. Looks like S-Chris has been taken down. So he's playing a little bit more defensive. Calvin Klein looks like they're doing a little bit of a creep on the other side of this hill. So they're playing around the Potato Mountain area, but you can see there is actually another duo that's involved, and that looks like what they're getting involved in. Is Andy going to use this opportunity to push out? Yes, it looks like he's going to try to come around this outside flank, maybe make it over to where X-Chris was at, maybe get some loot on it, see if he can pop up on these other guys.
You're right, it does seem like he's playing a lot more passively here, because he went ahead and decided to let them fight it out. They can get the kills, because presumably placement is most important for them right now.
You gotta, like, that's the whole thing. He was so smart about it. He waited until the gunshots went out, trying to use that. Now he's back into his slow creep, making his way up the outside of this. Tell that This is 2 different duos. Taozera, I think at this point he might be able to hear the footsteps. It's just a matter of if he peeks up this hillside. You can tell Andy is just waiting for it, monitoring that hill. Has to have a rough idea on where they're at. He's kind of hoping that they'll go for the loot as well, kind of like baiting it out. Because if they come forward for it and they remember, hey, we got to kill on somebody over here. Keep in mind, though, Taozera, Calvin Klein, they're old hands at this. They know the fact that, hey, we got one down and we got another down. This is 2 different duos. Let's make sure to play this as safe as possible. And they feel it's like a little bit too risky, so they're going to go for a reposition, fall around the outside of it. Now, the question does Andy know that somebody's right next to him?
I think that's what he's absolutely listening for before he makes that push into the circle.
Ragdoll effect coming into effect there. As you can see, vehicle explosion coming through and bodies flying all over the place as we are now in the apartments area, and look at how stacked up this is. I gotta say, T-Spirit guys, they chose the wrong place to drive into.
Yeah, they did. It blew up. Dead bodies everywhere. And now, I mean, they could essentially just hold down these apartments until they really are forced out by the circle.
And that becomes a problem. If we see a hard shift away from these apartments, these duos are going to be in a world of hurt because they have so many people they have to fight their way through, and it's going to slow them down. Nobody wants to take that extra tick damage from the circle, so a lot of pot shots going back and forth right now. You can tell it's too dangerous. Even if you do manage to get a down onto it, you can't push across the opening. The other duo will just spray you down. So everybody's just kind of like saying, hey, nope, you stay there, I'll stay here. That's your home. This is my home. It's just kind of turned into a really bad neighborhood at the direct time.
Bad neighborhood. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
don't come around those parts. This is a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, this is not the place you'd want to go and necessarily live at. Meanwhile, Ironman, look at this. He's right on top of somebody doing a slow creep on this. They're just holding that, waiting for this opportunity. We've got a school fight happening at this stage of the game. You usually don't see it. Usually it's cleared out by now. Is this a frag grenade going to be coming through?
Oh.
Where did it connect at? I think it's just going to be on the upper stairs, so it should be fine. It's going to force him to shift a little bit. Flashbang coming right up at his feet. That's actually going to connect. You can see the hand does pop up. They're pushing upstairs. They think that's where he's at.
Yeah, I was paying attention to the angle that he was throwing those nades, and it didn't indicate that they knew he was on the bottom.
But they do manage to get him, though.
They heard him anyways. Well, he was flashed, so he couldn't see anything. He's probably squirming around down there trying not to get shot, and they heard his footsteps.
So with this nanotech and some shots, and now we've got the MJ guys getting a couple more kills on the outside as Mr. Bong gets taken down. And out across that Badlands area. Look at everybody just kind of crawling out. Get those free points. Can you line it up? And looks like the zone managed to take him down. Get some more.
And he can take those shots. You sometimes think. Do what?
There's no risk, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's in a building. He'd be able to hear if anyone came up on him, which is going to be nobody's going in there. Let's be honest. I mean, no one's leaving their post at this point. Because like you said, it equals death.
Yeah, it's been so loud over there with everybody taking pot shots back and forth. Everybody knows where everybody is at. There's no risk. Just take the 500-meter shots, 600-meter shots, maybe get some free points out of the deal. So come back over here with Game Wave. These guys have been very, very violent in the early games. I'm kind of curious to see. They've got a lot of meds. It looks like they're still looting up based off of it, but we've seen a lot of downs coming out for them. That could be dangerous because naturally, every single time you get downed, you just bleed out so much faster.
But they're still alive. So that is that. They just got to pay attention to not getting knocked again because, of course, then they're going to start being eliminated from the round. But they are still able to advance further on as everyone else is dying around them.
Oh, that was a nice
How do you say this
shot
one
coming out from Trifelli.
El
Giganten.
Giganten.
That's their team name, El Giganten.
El Giganten.
And so
Got him.
Look at that. That's whenever you and your duo partner are in a ghillie suit, you're still feeling pretty good there. So Diggs, easy res, Rip coming out from there, pushing out, coming out, and that's going to be. I gotta say, Trifelli is just not relenting inside of this zone. Him and his duo partner, they want control over this. Third party is starting to come into effect, forcing them back though. They've got 6 kills at this stage. Trifelli's dipped low, does get taken down on it, trying to crawl into safety at this point. But you can see that there are so many third party fights happening right now.
It's chaos. I mean, this is pretty typical of this circle as it gets smaller and smaller. Everyone's been playing pretty cautiously throughout because they want to make it to the end. But as it gets smaller, it's bringing everyone closer together and thus seeing each other more easily. I had a joke there, but I decided not to say it.
Nice nade coming out for Barack there. Getting double kill onto it. Finally, Game Wave does go down. I gotta say, they survived though. They kept getting downed, rezzed. They really powered through it. And I gotta say, they did a good job at this point, but they went down so early. They went down at 19th. That's gonna be hard for their points.
Yeah. But the good thing that they've got going for them is that there is only a 5-point spread between ranks. between placements.
So those kills are going to be
the
influential.
kills will definitely help them.
But naturally, it's being down so far inside of there. That's you want to try to aim for that as close to that 200 points as you can get. I gotta say though, we're seeing a lot of people on the eastern part of the circle all starting to condense down. Now these guys in the apartments are gonna have to start making their way out. Down in this southwestern area, just look at the mini map down there. So many people just stacked on top of each other right now. This seems to be where most of the people are at. We still have those guys that are posted up inside the school, but they're happy and comfy at this point. They're separated out. It's all these people that are having to fight right around the edge of the circle.
It's going to be at this, it's a matter of who's got the best shot, really, because everyone's at the as best position as they can be for this circle. You don't want to head up into that northwest quadrant because it's just wide open. So everyone's trying to hold up take as many of either the environment or a building, a wall, anything they can hug up to try to just creep into the next circles as safely as possible.
It's also a lot about synergies, too. Like, how good are you communicating with your teammate? Whenever
Absolutely.
you have this many people stacked on top of each other, you need to efficiently relay, hey, there's somebody at this spot. Like, how do you do it? Do you use the compass directionals? Do you use building references? Like, everybody kind of has their own little way of doing it. And this is where that style of communication is going to be so big. MJ Karn just gets taken down there as he's trying to do a push over to the outside of it. These are all these guys that are trying to make their way into safety. And you can see every window is kind of stacked up. Still trying to live. Turbo Banani right next to this. Right over here. Look at this. These guys are right on top of each other.
Maybe they've heard of the spa day crate. They're like, we're waiting for our spa day crate to drop so we can just put that purple robe on and chill out.
Yeah, they're just relaxing.
They must be Twitch Prime members. Kudos to them.
They are just, look at this. They're relaxing. I'm kind of curious. Anytime I see a situation like this, if the mics are open and they're kind of like chit-chatting at this point, like, hey, man, what's going on? How you doing? Anything happening? At this point, I don't think that they're aware of either one's position, though, because remember, this has been essentially where Trifelli and Suzuki,
Squeechke?
I'm just going to say Trifelli's duo because I'm not going to murder it.
Squee!
But, I mean, look, he's just chilling right there. We've got all these flashbangs now starting to come into effect. Is he going to peek around this angle? Because he didn't step. Oh, but he got a little bit of a shift. That's going to take him down. Now Trifelli's going to have to make the push back over into this area. Does he see where it's at? Trying to line up the shots, and yes, he does manage to take him down, but it was an outside third party that takes him. Once one of these fights happens on the outside, it just starts going crazy as Diggs does manage to survive. Should be able to get the res on this. Now the guys that are inside the building complex heard all that. They know that something's happening, and Crook way on the outside of this, all the way over at school, got line of sight on it, taking a couple of pot shots in.
Look at that circle. Everyone's having to venture out of the buildings into the unsureness of the open world. Say hello to your grassy lawn.
Well, there's two big parts in play inside of the circle. We've got the road that's just cutting right through the middle of it, which is essentially a no man's land that nobody wants to go into.
Oh, except this guy.
Trying to get a little bit of spray. But we do have this outer wall of the school that's still inside of play. And a couple of duos that look like they're going to vie for that. So if they manage to get a good, strong position here, and they manage to get dominance of this location, that should buy them a very good position play. So now it's just a matter of all these little duos just trying to vie for these spots that they have control over. And like you were saying, shots. It's all about the shots from here on out because it's wide open and in this field.
Well, absolutely, because like I said earlier, as it gets closer, everyone starts seeing bodies. People are going to take those shots, and then thus just that domino effect. One person hears the next, the next, the next. Bodies start dropping, and you just give away. This is how it ends.
Let's see, Crook's caught up into a little bit of a fight. Icy Demon doing a push downstairs. The guys that are caught up in the stairs right now, nice shots coming out. Icy Demon gets taken down. Crook might use this as an opportunity to push down and through, but it looks like Ronnie Cray going to use the smokes, run in, try to get into that forward position, try to wait for the other guys to push into him. He's got to leave his teammate behind at this point. Kind of curious about the pathing that we're going to see from that other duo, though. They made their way down the stairs. They could be just to the left of this. No, okay. They're around on the outside of it. They're still holding that upstairs area. That's kind of surprising. Looks like they're just kind of waiting and like kind of leaving the duo partner as bait, waiting for it to come through here.
Sorry, bro. Just pick me up. I'm bleeding out. Bro, it's good. We good.
We're at this stage of the game. Nope. You just got to leave it behind. Duo's there. It's too risky at this point. So we're over here with Marco, who looks like he does have line of sight. Shot goes a little bit wide there. Being real patient. Now, keep in mind, circles going to start collapsing in now. So all these guys that are caught up on this fight on the outside haven't made it inside the safe zone. There's about 4 different duos all inside of this position, and they know that they have to push at this point. You can see that one duo is pushing in, sandwiched in between 2 of them. See, Swalker lost his teammate there. Now we have the firefight happening over here with Ronnie K as he does get taken down. So we have somebody that's starting to show a little bit of dominance inside of the school fight. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Way in a position over here, looking back up at
Way
Brock.
down at the bottom.
He's got the inside path.
No, there's a play on his name. You know?
Yeah, he's got the inside track right now. So this duo is on the outside. They have to fight each other and make their way to him and Bubber. Bubber does get taken down, though, as it looks like it's going to be the El Giganten guys. Deegs does get a nice shot on that, back off in the distance. So he's throwing down the smoke, trying to make it back over there. But that could be the reprieve from those duos that were fighting earlier, because now they're looking up a different direction. Rip is going to do a slow push on this. He knows firmly where they at. Going to try to spray into the smoke, and it works! Gets the kills for it. Nice shots coming out from Rip. Now he gets to get into an inside track that we just were talking about a second ago. He can kind of wait for these other duos, maybe get some meds, try to post up, but some outside third-party shots are starting to come his way, forcing him to retreat, hide behind this tree. But he is not inside the safe zone yet, so he is going to have to reposition.
That circle is gross.
So with this, we are now down to 4 people alive. So we've got 2 teams. So we've got 2 duos that are posted up.
2v2.
We've got Nanotech and Crook coming out of the school, and then we had our winners from the fight over there on the eastern side. Long-range sniper duel starting to come into play. It's going to be a lot of peak battles going on between these trees, as that's where everybody's posted up at. Who has the scopes? Rip takes a lot of damage. Pressure's now coming onto him, but man, he has a ton of meds. It's just going to be a matter of how long does his armor survive if he has to keep taking these shots.
Absolutely. So this is... I really don't know what's going to happen here with this, other than just trying to rotate around and try to lose sight. They know where everyone's positioned. There's really nothing.
Everybody has line of sight on each other. It's just going to come down to the aim and repositions. Next circle's about to pop.
Like
where does it take it to? Yeah, what resources do you have? But you can see a lot of these guys been doing a good job killing go through. Nanotech, Crook, 8 kills themselves. You know that they're setting pretty well. But Crook does not actually have any first aid kits. He does have a med kit, though. So, oh, nice shot coming onto Nanotech. That's going to be the pressure coming through. Giganten Diggs getting the shots onto this. Rip's trying to follow it up. Crook takes a lot of damage. Circle does pop right along the road, so Diggs is going to go for an outside push, and there we go. It's going to be Diggs and Rip coming out with the round win.
Congratulations. I mean, you shouldn't have... you know, you get that initial instinct when your teammate goes down to, oh no, I've got to come get you. And... Did that look like a little bit of that was happening over there? Crook was just a little too emergent to his teammate.
I think he was going for a reposition over onto the outside. He realized that he was in a weak spot, so was just trying to play and try to get to like one of those little dips. Just couldn't quite make it. Because when your forward man goes down, that's supposed to be your sniper, it makes it really hard for the other guy, because now you don't have your easy path anymore. So it looks like he was just trying to run out there and go, oh, I don't have my side flanks covered anymore. I'm in a bad spot. I've got to move. And once that ends up happening, it's just a matter of that 2-point flank that was in play, because you could see that Diggs did the outside push on one side, you got his partner holding the other angle, and then there was just nowhere left to go.
Except death.
Yeah, but great play coming out from FaZe Gig there, getting themselves the round win. You know that they have to be feeling really good about that. We still have one more round for EU to go. Really excited about it. We've been seeing a pretty explosive last round. We were kind of in the comfort zone. Everybody knows that last map. Now we get to mix it up a little bit and move somewhere else.
It's going to get real good with this final map on Sanhok. You guys don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this break. top in the EU division. We're going to find out with this last map. I'm Lisa Malambry, aka Lucy May. With me is Matrum. We're going to bring you this last map on Sanhok. First, I think we might have some information for you. Do we? Beep boop bop boop beep in my ear. Yo.
There we go. We've got the stats. Kills leaderboard coming in through here. It's going to be Game Word Red coming in with 23 kills. It's going to be No Name Frost Viper still holding on to that top spot. Team Till Valhalla following right back behind them with 17 kills. It's going to be Outlaw and Ironman. We got third place is Award with 14 kills, but tying that up is also going to be Original Team of Domination as well as MJ Esports coming up there. We saw them doing a hard push, caught up inside of that apartment building fight for a very long period of time. Looks like that really paid off for them, really pushed them up the standings.
Sure did. A lot of people in the teens there on the kills, and here are your individual kill stats. No Name, the one that you were saying it.
Oh yeah, we've got No Name up there with Game Word Red doing such a great job. Back behind that, Nanotech doing a good job for Award with 11 kills. Back behind that is Karn for MJ Esports. And we got Outlaw with Team Till Valhalla. I still love that name, Till Valhalla. It's just like, we're gonna fight until Valhalla comes. It's
Yeah,
so
you're
strong.
really into that. For
I do,
sure.
I like
dig
it.
it. I like the passion.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm more into that No Name. He's like, this man's no name, but he's like the first on the list. 16, good 5K away from the next person. I think you are making a name for yourself.
Oh,
Might
yeah.
have to come up with a new handle.
Nah, at this point you just embrace it because you know it's gotta be it's gotta be a little tilting whenever you're killed by a No Name. Be like,
This little guy,
Oh,
person,
this
thing.
guy.
Well, right now, let's see where everyone's standing on the leaderboard with all the points combined. Boom. So, you like it? I like how you delivered that earlier. Say it.
And Alaz
And
coming
Alaz!
in with 742, still close, about 20 points back behind them is going to be Thinking coming in there. And back behind that, about 40 points in that range is going to be Dark Universe coming in. That's going to be Swalker coming in with Freeze With Me. And then Award coming in fourth place at 651, about 40 points back behind. But tied at 651, look at that, is the Original Team of Domination. And back again, about 20 points behind it, we've got Team Till Valhalla, and then 20 points behind. That seems to be the separating categories. It's 20 points, 20 points, 20 points, which is really only about 5 kills. So with this, that could be, we could see a real big change up coming into a lot of these leaderboards.
This should be interesting because it's
Yeah.
going to be, Sanhok is a really fast-paced map. So it's going to be really amazing to watch how everyone decides to take this, because are they in that top 8? Are they going to play it like Sanhok? They might have to play it extra passive, but passive and Sanhok don't really go hand in hand.
Not allowed on. Not
Not
allowed on
allowed.
that map. It's just you have to go in and you have to take the fight. So you know a lot of these guys on the leaderboard is like, all right, pressure's on. We've got to
Yeah.
kill our way through this. And I love it.
Yeah,
I
well,
love
you guys watching right now, who do you think is going to win? Tweet us using the hashtag Broadcaster Royale. Don't forget that hashtag, please, because we want to know what you think. Tweet me, tweet Matrum, tweet the universe.
Feel free to at me, bro. I'm fine with it. I love it.
Slide into the DMs. Awkward? No?
No,
Okay.
no. Don't slide into me. No, that's fine. You can
No,
slide
don't
into
do that.
DMs. It's perfectly
not a good
okay.
idea.
I have DMs open for a reason, so that way people can always message if they
Oh,
want.
confirm DMs
I know.
open. Go, go, go.
I'm a nice person. What can I say? And now Twitch chat's gonna destroy me.
Twitter.com/Matrum, everybody. Get
Underscore
it.
GG.
What?
Got underscore GG. Matrum underscore GG.
Oh,
They're all
yikes.
through there. I know.
There
But
it is. There's
With that, okay, guys, so we're moving into our final round. So if you aren't familiar with how this is all set up, remember there are multiple brackets that are coming through. Everybody's trying to play their way through the next couple of weeks to make it to a huge final. We are in the EU, last round of the open qualifiers right now for EU. So everything's on the table. These guys want to make it through this round. We're going to take a week off. Then there's going to be another
2
set.
weeks.
Yeah, 1 week. Well, yeah, we're going to take next weekend off, and then we'll be back after that. And then we're going to be playing through it all over again, bringing in some more people to qualify through. And it's going to be a slow progression to find out who is the best broadcaster, who is the best player as far as broadcasters in PUBG. And I'm excited to see who it's going to be.
Absolutely. I want to see some, underdogs coming up to the top. Some persons that, surprise us. Maybe people that you literally just explode on the scene. You're like,
Somebody
where did
perhaps
this?
with no name.
But maybe.
We
But that's already taken.
We could have a no-name win this.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. Double meanings inside of
My
it.
mind is crushing that analogy.
So here we go. We've got a plane path coming through. Sure, it's all on the far western side of the map, but it's Sanhok. So let's be honest. You can really just go anywhere you want. You can drop out, pretty much get to any part of the map that you would like to. So we're just going to kind of see how everybody comes and play off of this. One of the big things I always like to see on this map is how people play off of the parachute. So whenever they drop, you can tell that everybody starts spinning around, being like, okay, who's dropping around us? Who's going to be right next to us? How is this going to play out? So a lot of people are trying to do a lot of information gathering at this stage because, again, a lot of these there's so much money on the line. This is $300,000 event. You want to make sure you make it through these qualifiers. You don't want to get into too many early skirmishes. You don't want it to mess up your points. You don't want it to mess up your standings. So these guys at least want to be able to land comfortably, get some ammo, get some guns, and hopefully get some armor before they have to take that first fight. But with a map like this, it's just not really that capable. You can see, look at where we're at right now. So many parachutes coming in this area. So now you've got to relay to your teammate, okay, we're going to go to this building, mark it. Let's try to get near each other. We're going to push in from these different angles. And man, look at this. There are so many people stacked up in this area. Look at the mini map. It's just covered in dots.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, on Sanhok, you really just, it's a matter of finding where is somebody going to be landing that's it's not occupied, except for here.
Look at the skin. I already know Twitch chat's getting upset. Running around, running one of the PGI skins. They're like, where's my skins? Where's my skins? Give us some giveaways.
That is not a call for a giveaway. That is not a call for a giveaway.
We're not doing a call for a giveaway, guys. Just wanted to point out. See, look, you could look like that. Well, now he's got the body armor.
Matchrooms making the chat salty.
That's what I do.
Boot camp. That's a really ballsy spot to drop for the final map. Unless these are the top teams.
Confidence coming through. Ronnie K getting knocked down, though. We got a little bit of shotgun coming in from Special K. See, a lot of people were trying to use the Tommy guns, the UMPs, the close range weapons. It's getting a little bit spicy. Meanwhile, we're coming back over to one of the more interesting places to fight over there. We're going to pop back and forth between what looks to be two different fights. Special K is going to get the kill onto Ronnie K now. Everybody's just going to be playing off of information. And we've got Trifelli. Strong performance inside of the last round, holding down that center ground position inside the Badlands. Let's see if it plays off for him this time since they're warmed up and strong. Meanwhile, Honey Badger's playing from windows, looking back and forth, just trying to gather information. He knows somebody's on the other side, but that's a scary hallway to go down and push.
This is looking more like a casual open drop here. There's so many people that dropped in the boot camp.
Steps back around and he's gonna get the shots onto it. Special K showing a lot of dominance around this location. This is definitely his home and he's gonna try to force everybody out of it.
Yeah, he is. See, this is typical of Sanhok, where you got one team down on Camp Charlie. We've got 4 was 5 maybe. However, that's 2 is enough, but there's so many people here. It's already rough. It's going to be rough getting out of this position due to all the high hills around it.
And it looks like some of these guys might end up having to move. We're bouncing between a couple of different fights right now, but we've got Memo Effect over here with Clemmy G. Still caught up in the information gathering process. Meanwhile, Special K just holding down this location. You can see, not afraid to take the fights, but maybe he should have been, because with that, Honey Badger does get down and kill onto him. We can see that we do have the circle that is up and active right now. Most people did lean in towards the center of the map, and looks like it's going to be fairly centralized as well. So if you're on the outer islands, a little bit of trouble there, but really it's just going to be like Diggs as way on the outside of it. He probably has about the furthest to go, but to be honest, on this map, still not too far.
Far isn't really a word you use on this map, unless it's literally on the opposite end of the map. But you can get anywhere by foot pretty quickly.
Sneaky play coming through there, slowly creeping down there. Gonna get the kill onto Honey Badger. Slowly and steadily, we're starting to see that this is coming down to who might actually be the dominant factor inside of this area. Memo Effect and his duo partner. I like how they're working together. They're staying near each other, trying to grab information. Looks like they might have a spot on one. They do see it. Goes for the spin. Goes a little wide. Can't quite connect all the way. Finally does get the down and the kill onto him. And that's going to be going out real early there. That's going to be Trifelli and his duo partner. They had a strong performance last time, but dropped a little bit too hot this time.
He got the Memo Effect. It's like, son, did you get the Memo Effect?
Oh, that's such a good bad joke at the same time. I love it. I love it. No, give me more of those. I want all of the bad jokes. Bring them to me. Feels good.
My name's Lucy Main. I'm here with all your bad jokes. Stay tuned and open up your ears.
I'm over here with T-Spirit doing a slow creep. I just love how beautiful this map is, though. Like,
super
the
vibrant.
Water, everything's just like, it's all nice and pretty out along there. There's so many fun little places to play around. So T-Spirit giving us a little bit of a scenic view on the outside of it, but we're over here with T-Battle caught up into a fight with Ironman. Looks like they're kind of repositioning around. Meanwhile, Outlaw's in that high ground position on the outside of it. Looks like he's trying to get a little bit more information. So we've got the duo point here going through there. And
that mannequin.
That's a pretty sneaky little spot to be at.
Sure is.
How did he vault up on top of that? Is my question. So coming over here with Talazira and Calvin Klein, Run out forward, long grenade coming through. Looks like it might connect. Gonna force him to run off to the outside, and shots coming through. Goes a little bit wide. Reinforcements now returning fire. Tau Zero's taking a lot of shots, but Calvin McCline comes in with 3 reinforcements, gets the down onto it. So Nade's gonna come out now. Gonna provide a little bit of cover for Tau Zero. Probably try to get those meds off. Looks like CB might be going around the outside. Could he potentially get to a res spot? The way that this map works, he might be able to push on this. Meanwhile, Outlaw has met back up with Ironman. Just doing a slow creep on the outside. Looks like they might have heard.
Yeah, it looks like other people heard the shots, and now they're coming up to...
Stuffing through, and connects. Tau Zero gets that, and that's another duo eliminated. I gotta say, I love this map. It's so violent. There's nowhere to hide. There's just nowhere to go. You're gonna hear me saying doing an outside flank a lot right now, because you can tell that's the way these guys are playing it, and so strong here, specifically in duos. Having one guy go loud, slowly creep around, sneak in back behind him, and just line up the shots. It's so good on this map.
But at the same time, you've got to be careful, because yes, there are lots of trees for cover for yourself, but there are lots of trees for cover for other people. So if you're going to try to go on that wide flank, you've got to be careful for the third party to come in and clean you up before you even get an opportunity to get your own kills.
Third parties in this map are like, that's the big thing about PUBG is you gotta fight the tunnel vision. You know, you see the guys, you want to kill them, you gotta make sure that you have situational awareness around you, don't overextend for it, and that's that could be the detriment to a lot of these teams, specifically the ones that are doing really good at killing right now and are really high on the kills leaderboard. They're feeling really confident. You can start to see sometimes makes them play a little bit too confident, and they'll go with these stretch positions, as we just saw. Traffelli was doing such a great job in the last round. Hot dropped into the middle of a bloodbath location. Duo goes out early.
Yep. Came in a little too hot-headed and got.
Well, at this point, I thought you can kind of tell that people were like, I wasn't expecting 10 duos to be in this specific location.
Well, I mean, what do you think? You saw the umbrellas? Saw the parachutes.
Yeah, but I mean, they played it smart. They played it as smart as they could have inside of that situation. It's just everybody was playing a similar angle. Coming over Simpri, nice spray, getting down on Mr. Bomb, stepping back up on top of the rocks, connects, and just
he just said,
tears him
no,
apart.
don't shoot me, don't shoot me. Did you see him just running
like,
away?
Nope, I don't want to be here anymore.
He's not even trying to find a tree. Just like, fam, I'm just out. Sorry, bro.
And that's the power of these SMGs in close range. So good on this map. I love them. Like, you're seeing a lot of switch over on here. You can see a lot of the EU players do favor the DMR and SMG combination, not necessarily still leaning into too much of the double ARs we used to see a lot. And it's kind of cool to see the different play styles coming into play now that we are getting so much different gun variants, and so people can kind of play with what they feel the most comfortable with.
What's your favorite SMG?
I like the UMP.
Yeah.
Mainly just because I have a really cool skin for it. I'm gonna lie. I love the Vector too, but I've always liked the UMP. It was like one of the first weapons that I felt like really comfortable with when I first started playing back whenever I was a baddie. And so now that the SMGs are starting to get a little stronger again. Spirit doing a hard push. I don't think that he realized how populated this area is around him as he runs through. Just have his teammate off to the side of him, so they're doing a little bit of a peek battle right now. Have the information for it. Looks like off in the distance, gonna be Bubber being like, nah, I'm out of here. I'm just don't want to be a part of this fight. So shots going back and forth a little bit late on the spray. Meanwhile, T-Battle, he's just chilling.
That mannequin mount.
He's there. This is where I want to be at. This mannequin shall protect me. It is my home.
The mannequin is my savior.
Nice.
That was a good shot
coming out there. Gets the down. There comes the aggressive push for it, but gets T-Spirit. Does get the down on one. He's still focused and thinking they're in the windows, but he does get the retaliation kill onto that. Now, where's the partner going to come at? You can see that trying to get the res. That's going to force a little bit of a slower push. They're listening for footsteps.
Yep.
Can't quite place it. Goes for the window jump. It's a little bit of damage onto it. Beast holding the angles, trying to line up the headshot. Damage does go back and forth just a little bit. Now going for a reverse peek. Can Bushy get this? You know that he wants to go inside. He doesn't want to let them get the res off. And every second that he waits, he knows that this is going to turn into an unfavorable situation for him. But did he wait too long? He's opening the door, stepping out, and the res is now up. This is going to be a lot of pressure, and yes, going to be Beast that gets the kill.
Was there... there's the mannequin man. Is that the same house he's in? Did you see that? Or am I seeing things?
Is he in that
like
building?
two guys fighting, and then I saw the mannequin man just chilling. But I couldn't tell if it was the same building or a building across.
We're going to have to see if we can get a wider peek on that so we can confirm on that. But Outlaw holding up on this Pride Rock style location. Gets it down onto Andy Pyro. Going to throw a long-range nade. Looks like he might be going after Chris and connects onto it. Nice plays come out from Outlaw there. You can see Anders is like, nope, this is getting a little too spicy for us. We don't want to have anything to do with this. Running out. I love the play around this high ground position. Such good cover coming out from this. And you can tell Outlaw really knows this map.
Well, and this tournament specifically is interesting because, you know, it's got a little mixture, even though they're all streamers on Twitch, there's still a little mixture of pros in there as well, which they know this game inside and out. And you got to wonder, are they coming in? See? That's what I was talking about. I told you.
If he could have clutched that, it would have been the
I
most
know it was
ridiculous
wrong.
thing.
The mannequin mount was a disservice. That was a really good position because I guarantee you he had no idea he was there. But
he was so quiet. He just hung out there. It was like...
Well, he walked in thinking he was going to look for a freaking 5.56 clip, right? And no, got shot at, but then was able to probably flick back around and do some damage. His teammate cleaned it up.
That kick over here, taking some shots there. Kick 8-4-6-2, 8-5-2. I feel like there's a story behind that name.
It's missing X's.
That's the I can't get my name to work. Let me just type in some
Somebody
numbers.
dial that right now, please. 1-800-84. No, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Some phone number, and some poor guy out there is gonna hate you so much right now.
Dude, if you've got an 800 number, tell me how you get an 800 number.
Lucy May told me to call.
Hi, so Lucy May sent me. No, don't do it.
Don't do it. All right, now we're coming over here with Anders. Remember, we just did see a fight coming up between Outlaw, where they had the guys from Method that were caught between these two duos.
Yes,
Method getting eliminated.
Right. Speaking of Method, so back to what I was saying before, it's just like you got to wonder: are these pros coming in and playing a little bit more aggressively than they're used to because they know they're going up against more casual players. The casual players are playing a little more passive, but. And is it working for them? Or
I think it depends on the pro. Like Andy Pyro is Andy Pyro. Andy Pyro just does what Andy Pyro wants to do, and that's just gonna be the way he's gonna play.
Wants to do.
You know, like that's just his style. He's, I guess, I hate to use a term like this, but a lot of people refer to him as like the bad boy of PUBG. You know,
so he needs a leather jacket. So we need to get him a PUBG leather jacket with some studs.
He's such a nice guy, though. Outlaw getting picked off by Digger on the outside of this, but got a nice position from Iron Man. Gets the revenge down. Now it's all going to be about positioning. Who gets to a point where they can assist their teammate first. And Outlaw playing a strong position can line up, can stay safe, and just Iron Man comes in with the clutch and the safety. And look at that reposition coming through there. Meanwhile, we got Lulz taking some shots, runs out of ammo, has to do a weapon switch, but he does manage to get the down onto Rick Zick. Now it looks like Nimzi is running out over there. So Anders still playing this pretty aggressively. Coming back over here with Brock and Marco, taking some long-range pot shots off in the distance. You can see, trying to see if they can get any damage onto it. But it looks like they're going to the Raptor's going to be able to get back behind that rocket just fine. Should be able to retreat back over there. And this is kind of one of the things about Sandhawk. You got so many nice angles that you can see specifically from these tops of these hills. You take these long-range shots, but again, we've talked about on this map, if you give away your position, it's real risky. You have to make sure that you have your head on a swivel the whole time. Meanwhile, Nimzi saw him having to do this retreat back out after Rickzik got knocked down, running into another duo, so all pressure's on him. You can see on the minimap, he's just surrounded right now. So now it's going to be about how does he manage to survive through this. Now, taking a look over here with Bubber and Aegon Bacon looking over here. They were taking the pot shots back over at Nimzi as he made his push down there. And by the way, I know I'm probably butchering some of these names. I apologize in Twitch chat. I'm just letting you know.
We're both human, chat. Okay?
There's a lot of people inside of these events, and we've been casting a lot of different regions, so apologize. I don't know how to pronounce every single names perfectly, and like I can tell you right now, Eggo Bacon, Egg OG Bacon, I'm probably murdering that.
Yeah. Sorry, Bacon.
Tau Zero taking a nice leisurely swim across there. You know it's nice whenever you're taking a leisurely swim whenever you get out of
Spa Day Crate.
Spa Day Crate. Because then you can have your nice towel and comfy robe. Be all comfortable. If you guys have not linked up your Amazon Prime yet, please do so. It's free cosmetics, guys. No reason to not do it if you have Amazon Prime. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, what kind of human are you these days?
I mean, where are you shopping? Because everything is one-stop shop at Amazon.com. I don't know. What are we advertising right now? I have no idea.
But we're back over with Towel Zeros. We see that he did manage to make landfall on the beautiful beachhead over here. He does have a duo that's in the complex just to the right of his location. It's going to be over to the west. But it looks like a couple of teams still caught outside in the blue, and that's going to be Deegs and his duo partner, as well as Quickish and the MJ guys. We are going to have the circle pop up again, and it's just going to continue to stay around Tatmok. I guess that's how you say that. Tatmok?
I can't see it from here. I'm too far away. Everyone, I can't see the map.
All right, so we're over here with Hamel. Doing a quick look over there. See, Tatmok? That's how you say it. It's always the fun of a new map. You have to figure out how to say all of the things.
Tat.
A little bit of a look over there, and that's going to be Stilling, as well as Fire Stealth. Hamel looks like he's making a position on the side of the hill.
And see, that's good. See, he saw him, and instead of shooting and giving away his position, he held back. I'm always yelling out, if it's not a kill shot, and it's, don't do it, don't take it, give away our position.
Well, they also aren't inside the safe zone. That's one of the big things, one of the big mistakes a lot of people make.
The worst mistake.
They'll start getting caught in these fights, and it just makes this mutually assured destruction point. Meanwhile, the guys from MJ run straight into another duo, but luckily Karn does manage to keep them up and alive. He's going to be able to get the res onto Mully. Now we're coming back over here with Mel, does get down. Mel's looking off on the side of it. Fire still taking a lot of damage. His duo partner's already gone down inside of this. Just trying to figure out, do we go for the res? Smokes are now coming into play. Blue is now encroaching. You can see it's slowly creeping back up behind all these duos caught in a fight. None of them are inside the safe zone. You gotta be very careful with the third party does come into effect on this. Gets a shot. It's gonna be Clemmy on the back side of this, slowly encroaching. Meanwhile, Tau Zero on the other side of the map, caught up into a fight, just peppering bullets up the hillside.
I love this part of the map. It's where all the palm trees are. It's so blue and pretty. The other side we've been watching is very green and pretty with the regular trees.
This would be a nice place to vacation if it wasn't such like a murder fest whenever you come through, you know? It's like everything's all nice and comfortable. There's so many like cool places you can go. The water's so clear. But then there's just bullets everywhere, so it's...
And death.
Yeah, maybe not the best place to
I wonder if they're going to put in like a graveyard or something.
Well, we have that inside of Miramar.
Well, right. I mean, in here, I feel like that beach area could be a graveyard.
See, one of the things that I often wonder is how good is this fried chicken? As we come over here, Simpray getting down and return back and forth. Everybody's always fighting over this chicken. You know what I mean? It's got to be like the best chicken on the face of the earth. If you're going to put your life on the line for a chicken dinner, it's got to be the best fried chicken ever. I'm assuming it's fried chicken.
I was going to say, why has it got to be fried?
Because fried chicken is best chicken.
But grilled chicken is also good chicken.
But fried chicken is best chicken.
I mean, all right, you're not wrong.
It's not like you're worried about health and calories if you're putting your life on the line for chicken. I wouldn't want grilled chicken afterward. I would be like, give me the fattiest chicken you can possibly do. But you can see Clemmy and Memo Effect caught up in this fight. Looks like Bastille is still up and alive. A little bit of a fight happening down below them, but they still have to encroach up. They are not inside the safe zone. Clemmy does get knocked on this, but Memo has got a nice flank into a position. Takes the shot, does give away his position. Going to be dropped down, but now Fire Stealth's coming up. The Blues coming in onto this. They're going to step up and take the shots, get the down, but now they have to make their way down the hillside into safety where there is a duo positioned at. So now we're over here with Brooksy having to do a run on this. Archie holding down a position. Nice down coming out to him. Going to get MJ Karn down as well. MJ guys got caught into a lot of fights on this push. See that Mully is holding a position down behind that tree. Archie's trying to get a little bit more information. He wants to get the smokes out, wants to try to get his friend up and alive, but they're caught inside of a tree peak right now, looking back and forth, trying to line it up. Archie's all by his lonesome, but he just doesn't feel comfortable pushing down. He doesn't know what he's pushing his way into. He has a couple of shots coming on the outside of this. Now we're going to have somebody that's putting in all the pressure onto Mully. He does manage to just narrowly make it over into cover.
Oh my gosh, look at his health bar. One more bullet would have been his death, but he was able to get behind that cover. He's healing, and now he's able to advance and live another 2 seconds, 30 seconds.
Well, see, Archie at this point is assuming that a res is going to come into play, unless he was paying attention to the kill feed. That's one of the big things whenever you're playing in an event like this. You have to know, I got the down on so-and-so, and you have to see if somebody else steals the kill on it. Elsewise, he has to assume that there's a duo that is now back up, fully armed, and waiting for him. Nice spray coming into there. I got to say, that was beautiful control on that. That should give him a little bit more comfort. He knows that since he got the down, instant kill on it, he can now push out. But since he did go loud, other duos are now starting to take pot shots at him, trying to find his way to path through here because the new circle is up, and so many duos are on the outskirts of it, trying to find their way into the safe zone. Pathing is going to be so important at this stage. 17 people still alive. 11 teams, 17 people. That means that there are a ton of little solos hiding here and there. So now it's all about the slow creep. Archie's going to be coming right next to No Name, and that's not somebody you want to run into. A lot of damage off that already. No Name's holding this angle. I really like this position. Got a lot of nice cover from multiple angles on it. Got to hold this out. He knows that Archie's over there, so he's just got to figure out how he's going to approach. He's got to assume that he's going to use the hillside, so that's why he's kind of advancing down the hill. They can hear the firefights that are happening off in the distance. Now it's all about just trying to information gather. Who's approaching from what angles? Who's just trying to push in? We got Namesy coming up, getting a nice kill onto No Name. That's going to give a little bit of a reprieve for Archie, as now he has a little bit more clear of a path, but he hears this firefight. Does he want to get himself involved in it being a solo player? It's so risky.
I'd say not. It'd be in his best interest to stay out of it. Let everyone else kill each other. Dwindle down the bodies.
Oh, but he just gets spotted from the outside of that, so Freeze with me gonna get the kill onto him. Frost Viper all by his lonesome now. Now knows Nimsy is around him, but coming up back behind Nimsy is gonna be the, I was gonna say, that's gonna be Beast. Just walks up back behind him, sprays him down. So Frost Viper now has a duo that's out in front of him. He does see one. Looks like he's gonna play this for stealth. Try to get a little bit more information. He's lining up the shot just in case he gets spotted. He's going after him now. Now
well,
he's
you gotta get up, dude.
Slow creep this. We're here with Crook and Nanotech. Pretty good spot there, not in the blue yet either. Nate coming through and just tears them apart right there. Look at that.
Oh, they did not expect that.
Yeah, you can see that they were prepping a nade of their own, and all of a sudden it just falls at their feet, and they're like, oh, this isn't good.
They're literally like, yes, we're getting ready, and then death. We just keep saying death, like literally. Why else? Are there other words?
Murder.
Death, murder.
So,
guns.
Let's see, we've got T-Spirit and his duo partner playing their way down the hillside. Swalker with a nice nade from a second ago, popping out the door, taking a couple of shots over towards another duo. It looks like they're trying to encroach in. 7 people alive. 4 teams. We're in the final parts of the round. This is the end of EU, so all pressure is on. All of these guys want to perform. They want to make it through to this qualifying stage, make it up to the next stage. $300,000 on the line at the final, so they know they need to play for this. They're trying to make sure to hold every single angle. Don't get too caught up into any specific fight, but make sure you're gathering as much information. Where is everybody at? Listen for every fight. Frost Viper coming alive on the top of the hill. Gonna hand over a free kill to Barack so he can get the kill onto that. Like, thanks, Frost Viper. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, Swalker did hear the fight coming out from that. Gonna encroach right up back behind Frost Viper. Feeling a little risky with it. Swalker does get the shots. It's gonna be Freeze with me. Gets it with the nade. So now down to 5. It looks like 2 duos and a solo, all holding different angles.
It's... Oh, it is.
We got Swalker and Freeze with me holding one side. Meanwhile, we do have T-Spirit Beast trying to use the smokes, running out and straight through them, but it doesn't look like Barack's managed to see it there. Meanwhile, Swalker's on the outside of on the rock right in front of him.
It's a good amount of people still left for this tiny circle.
Playing angles, trying to take some shots into the smoke. Every time you do give away your position. You can see it's just so many third-party fights that are happening right now. Everybody seems to have a general idea on where each person is at. Meanwhile, Marco is just doing a slow creep right up next to Beast, trying to line up the shots. Does it get it? I gotta say, that's insane coming out there. And it's gonna be Beast that's gonna die to the zone of all things. Now we've got Barack trying to run back over there. He's gonna get taken down. And so with this, it's gonna be Freeze with me that nets the final kill coming out. And so kudos to them coming out with 4 kills and an amazing finish.
Wow. So that's the thing. It's like that was a lot of bodies, and then boom, in an instant, everyone's dead.
T-Spirit with 7 kills.